Y'all, let me tell you, it is really windy outside. Yeah, it is. Everything is blowing back here. So, yeah, I want to say hello. Chris will be here in just a minute. He's outside. We were busy doing something. I was like, okay, I got to get this rolling. So let's say hi to a few people. There's Brother Troy Sutton. Hi, Troy. How are you? There's Lori. Lori's prepping for heaven. Hello, Miss Lori. Then we have Avid. What's up, Avid? How are you? And then we have Musgrave Family Farm. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Let's see how y'all awesome folks doing. I think you fell asleep, LOL. Then we have Sister Evelyn Newman. Hi, sister. How are you? Then we have Peter. Hi, Peter. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for stopping by and showing some love. There's Miss Arlene. Welcome in, Miss Arlene. Teresa Jukewitz. What's up, Teresa? And then we have Rhonda Dodson. Hi, Wanda. Rhonda. Sorry, Wanda. I was thinking about Wanda Henry just now. Hold up a minute. Rhonda Dodson. Janko, come lay down. Come on. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. Right there. Thank you. Then we have Heaven's Fire Heather. Hello, Heather. Yes, the winds have been insane here all day. Yes. It is blowing stuff out there. I am so glad Chris has tied down the extra chicken coop we have. It's all good, but my goodness. Yeah, you see my hair back here? I did have it's just blown. It's just blown everywhere. Yep. There is Jennifer Ocean Homestead. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's see who else is in here. Oh, Pecan Homestead. Hi, Dakota and Shayla. How are you? Then we have my mama. Hi, Mom. Welcome in. Then we have Ace. Hi, Ace. How are you? Then we have Langley's Build a Homestead. What's up? What's up? Thank you for stopping by. Arlena saying hi to everybody. Let's see. There's Lone Cross Scotty. Hi, Scotty. How do you always show up on my phone every Tuesday? I don't know. That's kind of weird, right? It's always Tuesday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Isn't that weird, Scotty? Every time, every Tuesday. Everybody saying hi to each other. That's awesome. Let's see. You hear the click, 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 click. Ace is sharing some links with you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. Yep, back to the windstorms. Wish I had to put hay out yesterday. My eyes are full of hay now. Yeah, it's just that dirt is blowing. And then we have Maribel. Hi, Maribel. Tell the kids Gigi and Papa say hi. Papa, of course, is not in here yet. He's outside unloading and loading the trailer. He said he would be in here in just a minute. Hello, hello. Then we have Dylan, Lisa. Hi, 9 Acre Family Farm. Welcome in. Everybody's still saying hi to each other, and Miss Teresa has shared another link. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I appreciate that. Lori is saying hi to my mama. If you see that name in the chat, she is new to my homestead. So everybody say hi to my mama. That's my actual mama. So let's see. Wow. Chat is going. Hold on. Just trying to make sure. Arlene shared some more. Treasure Hunter Neil. Hi, Treasure Hunter Neil. making sure I didn't forget anybody. If I forgot somebody, please drop another hey. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Evelyn is saying hi to my mama. Paul Case, what are y'all doing? Hi, Paul Case. Hi, Anita. I know you're back there somewhere. Yes, Beth will probably be in here soon. Let's see. Let's see. That's right. Smash that thumbs up. They say hi, Amy's mama. Dale and Lisa are saying hi, mama. Scotty is saying hi. There's Beth. Hi, Beth. How are you? Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to my mama. Hold on. I'm hunting trolls. Well, I'm letting you know which ones are safe. Tomorrow the wind is gusting 40 miles. Ugh. Chris was so mad trying to get those straps put onto the trailer, and when he threw it, it would blow, and he was so irritated. So irritated. Hold on. I bet that's what you're doing, Dale. She said, hi, everyone. Dale's spelling out, hold on. Brother Troy Sutton says, hi, Mama. Let's see. I'm going to get this link shared and copied, because with the wind and stuff, I really don't want to be knocked off, But I want everybody, I want some people to come up and say hello and howdy, and just like I do every Tuesday. Yeah. I got to go and oh, somebody's honking out there. Don't be honking out there. Crazy. Heard the beep beep. Pin message. Boom. That's right, Avid. Whack-a-troll. Let's see. You are not a knockoff. You're the genuine article. Oh, Paul Case. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, somebody's got glasses on tonight. Boom. What are you doing?
Oh, just showing up. That's
Showing
all.
up.
Just showing up.
Hi, Anita. I know she's back there.
She's in her craft room
Oh, well, she's
talking
back
with
there
some.
somewhere.
She's talking with somebody else, so you probably hear background noise.
Hi, Lori. Everybody saying hi, Paul. Hi, Paul.
Howdy, y'all.
So, how's your day been, Paul?
Dirty. It has
Dirty.
been really dirty where I was. The wind kicking that sawdust up, even in the building. Couldn't get away from it.
Oh,
But I've
man.
been through. I feel much better now. I'm not sure if I am any better, but I've been through the shower and cleaned all the dirt off the surface anyway.
And thank you for dropping those, Miss Evelyn. That's awesome. She's posting about the 10 Killer meetup. All the info. So take a look at that if you haven't already. It's getting so close. Now, did you say you was going, Mr. Paul
Oh,
Case?
Anita and I will be there.
Awesome. With those fancy pins, huh?
Yeah. Yep. I got them all boxed up and put away, so I won't use all of them up. I'll still
Now,
have some for
how many did you order? That's the question.
100. You think 100's enough?
Well, let's hope 100's enough. Hi, Ark Wildman. Yeah. We ordered I think it was 100 stickers off of the sticker mule, and those are gone. We handed all those out. So
Well, last year I think I only took like 70 or something like that with me to meet up.
Dale said it will be fine with that 100, I guess.
100 to work.
100 will work.
We used to make fun of the kids from Baxter Springs, Kansas, because they would call it a haunted. It was a haunted.
100. 100. I can't even say that. That's hard for me to do it.
I'm like, there's a U in there, boys. Hey,
Hi, Dan.
there's Dan. Welcome in,
Yep.
Dan.
Dan's on your side.
Dan's on the scene.
Ooh, Avid says he's thinking about going. That would be awesome.
Oh, you'd really enjoy it. We just, even though they had stuff going on, it was a deal where people would just sit around and talk and had a good time last year. And I know they're planning on more of that kind of time this year, so
Yeah.
it'd be good. They got me to help judge the chili cook-off last year, and I was sitting there watching all that, and all them crock pots sitting up there full of chili. And I can't remember, was there like 10 or 12, something like that, we had to taste. And
Something.
me and Jerry Butler and two other guys, I think, went through and tasted it. And we all put a vote in for a different one a piece, so they couldn't pick a winner out of that. And I really done myself in on the very first one. Um, I thought, yeah, them crock pots sitting out there like that stuff, it won't be hot. And I just shoved a spoonful of it in my mouth and scorched the top of my tongue like crazy. I couldn't, I couldn't hardly taste anything anyway after that.
Uh, and did you see Evelyn? She said she'll be there on Wednesday, and her favorite colors are hot pink and purple. She's just saying.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Langley's Build a Home said, "Do y'all have that every year?" So far,
Yep.
it looks like that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
So, my first year was last year's 10 Killer 2024.
Mine
That
too.
was my first year ever going as a YouTuber.
That was my
So,
first year ever going to a YouTuber meetup.
yep, that was our first one. Hi, Chris.
And I just went for Saturday last year. And it was a
Wow.
lot of fun. But we drove home in the storms that came in that night. And I
Oh,
thought we was really going to drive into the worst of it because it was lightning and you didn't need your headlights about half the time on our way home because it was lightning so bad. And we got home and it
oh
never even
goodness.
rained here. It all blowed past here and it never even rained. Not like the mud showers we had. Golly, what was that? Thursday last week, Friday, Saturday. It's Dale's third year, even though it's only the second year for it to be the 10 Killer meetup. Wasn't it something else before that?
Wasn't it Mid America or
Yeah,
something
I
like
think they
that the first year,
had
Dale?
something different, a different name the first time.
Well, Rebecca, we got so busy. Chris got off of work and we went straight to his mama's house in town because they own a property in town, and we're getting ready to, take everything out, and she's selling the trailer. So, yeah. I'm sorry I didn't call you back, Miss Rebecca, but she says she's going to be at the 10 Killer meetup. What? Yeah. It's a long drive for her, so she needs a day. That's why she goes early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting pretty dry here too. I seen Dan said they cut down a big one today. What was it? Red oak? I bet it
Wow.
was one of them water oak, swamp oak trees. They got a bunch of them around Commerce.
It was Mid American the first year.
That's what I thought. That's what I done did thought.
Trying to find out how much a temp fishing license is first, is what Avid said.
What were they last year? $5? I can't remember. I thought it was pretty reasonable if you needed one. Hey.
She has a car. Yeah. Go, Rebecca. That's great news.
Yeah, Dakota, we're getting pretty dry here too. I've been working, and I haven't videoed any of it. I bought my folks' place, and it had been bulldozed off in 1967. And I don't know whether they cut firewood out of what they pushed over, but they had piled it up in rows. And I don't know if it was ever burned even, but it had trees growed up in those rows. And about 20 years ago, my dad let a guy go in there and cut all them out. He cut every piece of them out. And the stumps have rotted good enough that I could go in there and flatten that down. Dad's done a good job keeping it sprayed. So I've been in there trying to work that down and smooth it up, and it is a mess. Lots of rocks, boulders that are that size that I'm working up, trying to get a place to hide them, drag all that down.
Wow.
But yeah, once I get done, I shouldn't have to do it again. That's what I keep telling me.
Dale said they have a 3-day license. I think that's the one Avid's looking for. Because, Texas says the regular fishing license is $31.
Dale, where do you go? If that's Oklahoma, the 3-day license, where do you go to look for it? That way,
I think Dale should join the panel.
you maybe
I
could
mean,
tell. You maybe could help have it out. Sound like he's just trying to find it.
Everybody's saying congratulations to Rebecca. That's awesome. Online. Judy! Hi, Judy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of those trees either. Gum, or it's not gum.
Evelyn says the 3-day license is $15. $15. You know, my problem, okay, listen, I think auctions are awesome, okay? But I can't understand what they're saying. So I would bid all of Chris's money away because I do not understand the bid. Get what I'm saying? I'm like, what did they just say? So, yeah, that would be my problem at an auction. I think they're fun to go to, but I don't understand one lick of thing they said.
It helps to be partially deaf, Amy. And then what you do is you just raise your hand until he says sold and ask for your number.
Yeah, but then I don't know how much I am. Okay, sold for how much?
He'll either say it again or you'll find out when you go to pay.
See, they have a hard time too. My mama says, yep, a hard time too. You definitely got to understand when they're buffering you into bidding. Yep, bluffing you into bidding. Yep. Yeah, you might get into trouble with that. Yep, that's right. Look who's gonna join the live.
Sup?
Sup?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Grandpa used to go to auctions. Yep, I remember him talking about auctions. I just don't understand what they're saying. Like,
they do that on purpose.
I know, but that would get me in trouble.
And they always start super high. If you watch Johnny's videos, they start like, "Hey, let's start at $2,000,000," and then nobody bids. And then he's like, "Oh, okay, 1,500." Nobody bids. Like, oh, okay, $1,000, and nobody bids. Finally, he's like, "Okay, $600." I'm like, just wait, and then start bidding. And then usually it runs back up at least somewhere close to where he started, but sometimes it doesn't. It stays low. So you never, like Johnny said several times, you never jump on there when they start opening up, because they're going to start kind of high, hoping somebody will be like, oh, and hit it, and then that starts it. That's the new bottom.
Looks to me like it's harder work for them to go backwards than just to start somewhere and go. But
right.
Hi, Bowen.
I've heard, and there are a lot of people who are pro auction because they say it is the most pure form of price discovery. And then you'll also run onto a group of people that says auction just means it's going to be cheap. But go to a cattle market right now and you'll change your mind. I was reading Welch Stockyards over here at Welch, Oklahoma has their sale on Tuesday. I was reading their deal. They posted some pictures and prices. They had a bull that brought over $4,000 for a 5-year-old bull. That's crazy.
All right.
Lauren and Joel. Hello. Yeah.
That's what they're counting on, or they're hoping that somebody will.
Yep.
I've been to some consignment auctions, and after a while, you could read the auctioneer. That price he'd start at would be what the asking price actually was. And if they didn't make it back to that, then it didn't sell.
Wow. Yeah. That would be my problem. Not many people pay as much and more than retail at auctions. You got to compose yourself.
Yeah, Johnny's run to see that a couple times on his videos where, like that the other day, I think the last one, or maybe not the last one, the one before that.
Whoa! How are you feeling?
That mower, I
feeling
think,
a lot better.
Higher than retail. It was ridiculous.
Week
There used to be a couple of items you could always count on would bring more at an auction than what they were. You could buy retail new cheaper than auction prices, and those wire cattle panels, dadgummit, I don't know why people would pay $25 for them when you could go buy new ones for $16 years ago at the Tractor Supply.
Yeah, those and corral panels.
Yeah.
The other, I mean, I went to an auction the other day, and that one will be coming out probably Friday, but they had a bunch of corral panels, they're all they're used and everything. I had them pulled up on my phone. They were Preferred. They were 12-foot corral panels, not to be confused with cattle panels. And they went for $30 more than you can buy them brand new.
Yeah.
From the store. Crazy.
Somebody just didn't know. Oh, I want to get them.
Right.
Hey, Lauren.
I even heard some people brag about how cheap stuff was when they would buy it and pay more than what you could buy it for retail. So it pays to watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
You need to know what stuff costs. It's easier now than
you'll run into like really good deals, but then you'll also have people that'll just get into a bidding battle and run it straight through the roof. And it's like, you people make no sense.
I've learned something.
Oh yeah.
If you get into a bidding war with a woman at an auction, you will not win. They would just, if I'm bidding against a woman, I usually just quit because they don't use any common sense at all. I'm not saying everybody, but the ones I have dealt with have not used any common sense and have just wanted to win it no matter what.
They just want to win, yeah.
And so they just roll with it. I mean, they will roll with it.
When I went through cleat, it was hilarious. Our teacher was talking about like, I guess women have faster, like their sensor receptors work faster, right? And he was talking about like trigger discipline and reaction times and all this good crap. And he took a $1 bill and he stood it up a long way like this, dangling this way. And he had two people. He had a guy on one side and a girl on the other side, and he dropped it. And he says, as soon as I let go of it, pinch it. And the guy would always miss it, and the girl would always catch it. And he's like, see, faster response time. And a woman will never let $1 hit the ground.
I'll tell you a true story. We were driving down the highway one time, and my sister was in the car. I was riding with my brother-in-law and my sister, and I think my brother was with us and me, and we were going to the races somewhere, and we were driving down the highway. I think it was a 65 or 70 mile an hour zone, and my sister all of a sudden said, "Stop, Jerry! There's money right there." And she saw a $1 bill
At 60
blowing
miles
down
an hour?
the ditch from like 70 miles an hour. We stopped,
Goodness.
backed up, did all kinds of stuff, life and limb, all that stuff, just so she could get that dollar bill.
Well, have you ever heard of old timers talking about what they did for entertainment when they was youngsters? I had one guy that told me they did something called the purse trick, and they would get an old lady's handbag and they would set it along the road and they would tie a string to it and they would put a $1 bill to where you could see it sticking up out of the top of it. And they'd put it to where you couldn't see it good till you got right up to it. And a card come by and they'd stand back in the bushes. And when the card get past, they'd pull it back in. And then they'd back up looking for that. Well, one guy said they did that, but he had a pet black snake that they put inside the purse and he didn't tie string on it. He just put that black snake in there. And so they'd let him back up and pick up that purse, and they get it in the car and be going down the road. You'd see the purse, the dollar bill, and the black snake all come back out the window.
Fly out the window.
There's
I
that
love
bird.
you, Christine.
There's that hummingbird.
I saw one time, and I think it got to be pretty popular. Like churches would take leaflets with like their church information or a message or whatever on it, and they would print it on a deal that looked like a folded up, quartered up $20 bill, but it was only folded in half. But the folded in half, it looked like a quartered up $20 bill, and they would just toss them everywhere. And somebody would be walking through a parking lot and see a 20. It looks like somebody just dropped a 20 out of their pocket. They'd pick it up and unfold it, and it's got the message inside of it. I was like, that's genius. Nobody's gonna not stop and pick that up.
I saw one the other day where some guy had taken a roll of quarters and in the, there were 3 or 4 quarters on each end of this roll and there were 2 sockets in the center.
Golly, if they were
that were exactly
millimeters,
the same length as a roll of, a quarter or the diameter. Anyway,
if they were 10 millimeter, I probably lost those.
Now those are 10 millimeters, way too small for a quarter. That'd be like what, a dime?
Maybe dimes. Not even dimes. Do you know they're starting to sell packets of 10 mil wrenches? Like there's a set you can buy that's like the dog leg version, the offset, the corner, the like there's 8 wrenches in it, and it's like every which way you can get a 10 mil, and they're selling just packets of 10 mils because everybody loses that size. I don't understand it.
Yeah, the 10 goes away pretty quick.
It's not Gremlins take it away and lose it.
Well, for me, it's the half-inch socket. The half-inch socket always ends up MIA.
I don't have trouble with that. I can always find a half-inch socket that's not a half-inch socket. I figure out it's a 12.
You need a 13 then.
13.
Oh, yeah.
They're close, almost.
Yeah, they're real close. Real close. Good. People are talking about the price of calves and stuff out there, I guess, on bottle calves and things like that.
Yeah, it's Dale and Dakota talking about auctions. You know how much you can buy calves at
cattle
the
prices.
Yeah, the cattle prices.
It just depends because I've seen them go anywhere from, fairly. I was watching them go for $150. Two, I've watched them go to almost 1,000 too. I've watched them go for over 900 at the auction. Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, you cleaned up now. Woo!
I lost a bunch of weight.
You did. You lost about 20 pounds off your face.
was gonna gather it up and weigh it, but it was windy when she was cutting it all off, and I had to close my eyes because it's blowing everywhere. When she got done, I'm like, "Where's all the hair?" And she said, "It's gone." And I'm like, "That's good. I wanted it gone."
Right.
Getting good and tired of it.
Yeah.
Mine was getting pointy down here and uneven, so I had her trim the bottom and shave all this crap off.
He got a haircut too.
I was getting I was starting to look like a hippie.
Mine got so bushy, I needed a hair dryer to get it dried out after I got out of the shower, and I don't care for that.
You know what? I get to a point where I just really don't like most of what I eat being in my beard.
That was something else. I had ate a sandwich and got halfway to town for parts, and I did this, and the crust of the bread was in my beard.
My dad, we'd always bug my dad about that. Like, hey, Dad, you got something like right? He's like, I'm saving it for later.
Saving it for later. That's right.
She said you look like a hippie, son. That's my mama.
Hey, her mom.
Yes.
The last thing that lady said to me on this planet when we went to visit her in the hospital not long before she died was, she's like, "Oh, Chris, you need a barber." I'm like,
he did.
Like I walk in the room, it's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And, you know, she's like, "Oh, you need a barber." I'm like, really?
You need a barber. You
That's
need a haircut.
Not hi, not good to see you. Oh, no, nope. Dang, you need a barber.
Yeah.
I had a fear that everybody at church that shook my hand on the way out the door was looking at me thinking, "Dude, you need a haircut or a dog tag, something, you know."
After our snacky snacks is what Lacey says. You can save them and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, it was an actual problem for me because I got this. My beard is really white, and I tell you what, whenever you eat, unless it's like mayonnaise or something, but whenever you
it
eat,
just jumps out because it's on a
like
white
ketchup
background.
is the worst. Okay, I'm telling you, because you look like somebody busted you in the mouth or something, because it'd be all the way around here and everything. Mustard and ketchup. Hated them.
Ketchup. Yeah, you look like you're bleeding or something. It's like,
I didn't have enough color in it to hide any of it. So
anything. Yeah.
Man, I look like a homeless man, says Dale.
My problem is every time I cut it and it comes back in, it's white. I'm losing all the brown and red, and it's just when it comes back, it comes in white. More and more all the time.
I never grew a beard until 3 years ago, and it got to bothering me when I'd have to come in from out of the cold during the week and shave. So I'd go to midweek church meeting, and I'd get there, and all of my face, jaw, chin, both or three of them had broke out and was all red, looked like I had a disease. And I'm like, I think I'll just quit.
Hi, McKay.
It's worked out okay.
Evelyn, I think we've all looked like Grizzly Adams at some point in time. I usually do in the fall, but
yeah,
Christine bought me one of those trimmer things that you put the little ends on so you can keep it all the same length. So I'm just running it back and forth across it now, and I'm going to tomorrow I'll get a haircut, an actual haircut, so I can get rid of these flippy doos right here.
Flippy
doos.
Yeah, did you hear that?
Those get on his nerve. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like the little curly things right here.
My right up here, like my sideburns, it does this number.
My wings was getting out there to where if I wore a hat like Johnny's, they'd wrap around the edge.
Right.
Drive the four-wheeler down the road a ways, and the wings would be wrapping around the edge. I'd be going.
Yeah, I drove down a couple of days ago.
To tie a bib around my ears to keep it out. Like, that's not a good look.
You could wear one of those. Remember those things that they used to make us wear? You know, those things that they made us wear not long ago.
Yeah.
You could use one of them and just kind of put it under your mouth.
Just curl it up.
Wrap it up under your chin.
Then you look like one of those pack mules that they put the little bag on to feed them when they tie them up.
Well, I was thinking you'd look more like one of those Jewish butchers. Had that on them to keep
I'm
from
working
getting
on
hair.
looking like Johnny in high school.
I'm working on looking like Johnny in high school. That wasn't me in high school, Dale. That was me in college. And that was I went to college. I was 30 when I went to college, or almost 30. Yeah. So
Carl Williams, you guys seen him on there? That's Trey's dad.
Yep. Hi, Carl. Yeah,
Well-
Judy. My guests are Johnny Gillum, which is at the bottom. He's Gillum Farms. And then over here is Paul Case Farms.
No, that guy.
And that guy
Case.
is Christopher.
This guy. Oh, he got a haircut.
Yeah.
It just don't look like it. He didn't cut enough.
Yeah.
So whatever. It's his head.
This is what Dale wants. That's what Dale is striving to look like right there.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm going to bigify that. That is, yeah, there we go. Who's that guy?
Is that what you're going for, Dale?
Is that what you're going for?
There was something on the collar of your shirt. What was that? Oh, it was your hair.
Do what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Your hair.
I had the most epic what do you call it? Mullet in the world. I had the ultimate mullet, man. And I was probably 29 years old.
It looked kind of like party in the front and in the back too.
80s rocker, yeah. That's right. I wore those. I had those high top, those tennis shoes with the white ones with the real high tops and the yeah. Had the chain wallet, all that good stuff.
Hi, Greg and Donna.
Hey, Duncan family.
Tina and Eric are in.
Back then,
Ridge.
they used to say you could tell the difference between a biker and a redneck. A redneck would have his dog on a chain, and a biker would have his wallet on a chain.
Well, I'll tell you what, I remember brush hogging back then. I had a big, believe it or not, Dale, I had a John Deere, a 3010 John Deere with a 7-foot brush hog. And I remember that chain wallet saving my wallet a few times on that thing. But nowadays for now, have you guys noticed jeans now, the pockets are deeper than they were back in the day? Like, man, these pockets on this pair of jeans I got right now go about halfway down to my knees.
Yeah, you have to get your wallet out from behind your knee.
Yeah, well, yeah, the in the back, yeah, in the back it's below, but wild how they're doing stuff now. But the old bell bottoms weren't like that. They had pockets that would barely fit. You couldn't get the first 3 knuckles of your finger down in your pocket, and that was it. If you had 4 quarters in your pocket, there was too much.
Dale says hello, Marissa plus 13.
Marissa plus 13.
I told Amy the other day I'm gonna buy her one of those 14 passenger transit vans.
Oh gosh.
Just not the high top one. She could stand up in the non-high top one. I could stand up in mine because it's the high top. She don't need the high top. She's 4 foot tall.
Yeah, I got like 40 sets of keys in my front pocket, Dale.
Hi, Sarah.
I don't carry my keys with me. I keep them on the table here in the kitchen. That way, you see, it's part of the farm fitness program. What you do in this program is you get up and you decide you're going to work, and you get out there to your truck and you realize I've left the keys in the kitchen, and so you walk back to the house and you walk back to your truck. And it happens 3 or 4 times a day. And I thought one of 2 things would happen. I'd lose some weight or I'd get a better memory. And so far, nothing.
Neither.
No, neither one of those.
Marissa's picking a fight.
Well, we got a little story for people who hate having gas in their truck. Because my mom decided that she found a perfect way to run all the gas out of her truck, because apparently she doesn't like having gas in her truck. So she found a way to just drive it all out. They went to Bixby and did their running around and whatnot, and stopped in at Brahms and had lunch or whatever, brunch.
Sarah, is mom watching?
Well, when they left Brahms, when they left Brahms, they decided to come through out past here, and they had to go to Morris to go to the feed store. So they drove through way out there to Morris to the feed store. When they get to Morris, she realized that she didn't have her phone.
No, wallet.
Sorry. She left her wallet at Brahms. So they call Brahms
In Bixby.
and check it. And yes, your wallet's here. So they drive all the way from Morris back to Bixby and pick up the stupid wallet. And then when they get to the Brahms to pick up the wallet, they realize they left the phone in Morris. So they had to drive all the way back to Morris to pick up the stupid phone. I was like,
It sounds like some of the genius that's behind my farm fitness program.
so yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Oh. So yeah.
Oof.
It's a lot of driving.
That was
Yeah,
a lot of driving.
it was.
It absolutely was.
And
It was
I'm
a
glad
lot.
Glad
I
a
was
set
at
of
work.
tires
I didn't
going
have
back
to
and
do
forth
any
for
of
a
it.
phone and a wallet.
And I thought it was bad enough that she drove all the way to Morris and had to drive back to Bixby. And then she's like, oh no, it gets worse. I'm like, say what? Because she's telling me about all this when I got home from work. And I was like, no way. And then, yep, all
Ed.
the way back to Morris. I'm like, oh.
Yep.
Hey, Lacey, I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't no lie. That ain't no lie. I tell you what, that check engine light just keeps on keeping on right now. Every time I turn around, there's a new check engine light on this old body.
Thank goodness I'm deaf. I can't hear the beeper or the buzzer. So that check
Hi,
engine.
Kevin. Kevin and Ed are in. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Oh, I guess, well, this is one of them cat out of the bag things or whatever. They're trying to send me an e-bike. And
Nice.
they want me to get this. They want me to ride it around the auction.
There you go. There you go.
They really do. They want me to ride it around the auction.
Nice.
You know, up and down the rows of the auction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what happened the last time I got on an e-bike?
It was a 10 killer last year, right?
It was at it wasn't at 10 killer. No, I didn't get on an e-bike last year. It was at that Ozark Homesteading Expo, and I got on White Rocks, one of their e-bikes, and that was the last time my hip was worth having. So anyway, but I'm like, they're wanting to send this thing to me and want me to ride it around an auction, and I'm like,
well,
I can probably do that.
There you go.
Well,
if you could just make sure there was emergency medical personnel there.
Yeah.
Right. My dad and one of his buddies used to go out to Bonneville for the Speed Week when they go out there to the salt flats and all that good stuff. And my dad and his buddy would go out there and spend the whole week. They'd camp on the flats in their little tent and everything. And they were planning. One year they took, my dad's buddy had a 27 coupe, like a roadster. It was on a 70-something chassis, but it was a 27 body. And they took it out there. They hauled it. My dad hauled it with his truck on the trailer, and they were going to drive it around and stuff. But then they got some little 50cc dirt bikes for like pit bikes, because the pits at Bonneville are just forever long, and I mean it's a nightmare to walk that. So they just went and got some little 50cc little dirt bikes and drove them back and forth out there because that's a long walk. That's an all day thing.
We've got a little Polaris 4-wheeler out here.
Yeah,
it's a 50. It's a little bitty one, and we bought it for our grandson back whenever he was little bitty. And that thing is the neatest thing ever to take to the drag races.
Yeah,
because we take that I can literally lift it onto the flatbed of the truck,
right,
and then get it down and just Christine can get on it and just where she wants to go. It's neat.
Yep. Careful if you video her, it might not work out.
Right. Well, no, that's made for kids.
Since she's a minor, anyway,
We bought our kids a couple of those little 50cc 4-wheelers. They got the little screw on them. You can screw the screw down, and it won't let them push the throttle very far, so they can get good at going slow before you turn them loose. I brought those things home. What car do we have? Oh, was that that Dakota? Not Dakota. The Dodge SUV, the Durango. Uh-huh. We had a Dodge Durango, and I got this little baby trailer behind it. And we went and picked up 2 or 3 of these things for our kids when they were, I don't know, little. The older 3, which are now in their 20s, when they were little. And I took one off of there and put gas in it and fired it up. And Moses jumped on it because he was the oldest at the time. Well, he's always the oldest, but he was the oldest.
He's oldest all the time.
He's always the oldest. Whatever. Shut your mouth. Anyway, Moses jumps up on it, and I had not screwed the stupid thing down yet because I just unloaded this thing. And he jumps up on it, and the first thing he does is he takes that little thumb drive and just nails it right in the back of the Dakota, which the 4-wheeler is like that tall, so it didn't do anything but run into the bumper of the Dakota, which it still had a steel bumper back then. Like, it's not like the Durangos now that are all plastic. It still had a steel bumper, so all it did was the front guard thing on the 4-wheeler just ran into the steel bumper and stopped. I was like, nope, I get a Phillips right now and screw this thing down because this kid jumped up on it just full throttle all the way. I'm like, it's not a on-off switch. It's a little bit goes a little bit, a lot goes a lot. It's not an on-off switch. You have to learn. You don't just get up there and just full bore. I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
Give me a Phillips right now.
Well, I thought Moses was probably pretty old too until I realized Moses was your son.
I didn't.
Not that Moses.
And then you're right, but I understood you the whole way because I speak fluent redneck and hillbilly plus English.
I've decided I don't speak English. I speak American.
Makes me trilingual or something, doesn't it?
Right. I decided I'm not even calling it English. I speak American. We ran the English out of our country a long time ago.
Yeah, but they're still here in our language. That's why
I speak American.
And done and once and several other words have ONE in them and they don't sound the same. That's why. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm fluent in sarcasm too, Lauren. What do you mean? Doesn't matter.
We got a contraption that you can attach it to a wheelchair and it becomes an off-road electrical 3-wheeler. Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do any of that stuff. I'm sorry, Evelyn.
I've got a contraption that you can put a wheel on it and ride it, or you can hook it up to a skateboard and it will power you around. But I so often use it for cutting trees instead of either one of those other things.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, I use something, I had to get a stick of hickory for our smoker for this weekend. All I needed was like a good chunk of hickory, about yay long and, about that big in diameter. And I was going to split it up on our wood splitter and stuff like that for our little cookout that we're going to have here with our daughters and stuff like that. And so, of course, I used the biggest thing we had to go get it. So
3-4 foot chain, bar chain, like 880 Echo or something gigantic.
No, I used something way bigger than that.
Oh Lord!
So, hey Dale.
Hiya!
Hello.
No on the e-bike unless it's a 3-wheeler, Johnny.
Well, I know we actually Christine asked him about a trike, but it's this bike thing, so I'm like, I don't know. We'll try it out.
You'll actually be okay as long as the seat's set down where it's supposed to be instead of
Right, as long as the seat is like,
armpits.
That's the thing. Jason is shorter than me, but his seat height's got to be like up about my chest.
It did.
While I'm standing next to it.
He's like, here, Dale, ride this. I'm like, you mean the seat that hits me right here?
Well, it's like all the Tour de France people with those bikes they have. Their seats higher than their steering wheel. I was like,
they have bikes with steering wheels. Jealous.
You know what I meant, Paul. I knew you were going to say something too. You knew what I meant.
Say nothing. I always tell a story about my dad getting this horse named Poco Joe, and he was a wore-out tie-down roping horse. And the only thing you do with them is you never stand up in the stirrups while they're going, because that's their cue to stop and start going backwards.
Put on the brakes.
And the very first time my dad rode Poco, he went over the handlebars.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I grew up on a working ranch on horses and stuff. My dad used to break horses and everything. And if you've ever sat in the saddle on a cutting horse, a genuine bred cutting horse, there's one thing you do. You put your feet all the way to the heel in the stirrups, and you hold on to the horn. Because when a calf comes at you, that cutting horses.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dale, don't move. Stay right there. Have Lisa to make sure she holds those rabbit ears right where you're at.
I know. I'm probably. I'm pretty positive that what's going to happen around here is there's going to be a Elon Musk thing happen around here.
Yeah,
because
we didn't have any internet all day yesterday, or all night last night. Let's just put it that way. From about 4 something till today about 10, a little bitty box in the house went out.
That's a bummer.
No kidding.
Well, we are not going to have any Doge here because I'm not government. But we are going to have a department of the sawmill efficiency. And that means dose. Which also means 2.
Not to be confused with deuce.
Oh my.
Did you get my video, Johnny? I know you weren't feeling great. I sent you a video.
You sent me a video?
Like over the weekend. I think it was on Saturday. Right? Yeah, I think it was on Saturday.
Well, I got a picture from Chris. He was eating at like my favorite place ever.
They know you there.
And Faith was not happy because I put her in there. That's why she's covering her face, because she was in the middle of eating. She's like, Dad. Like, well.
So, and I really didn't even realize that you guys went and did a live down at the lake or anything like that. And I still haven't got to watch that because I just found it today. It just popped up. And I'm like, oh, that's the reason why they were in Tahlequah. They went down to the lake, and stuff like that. So I need to watch that. But you sent me a video. Did you send it to me on? What did you send it? Did you send it in messages or
old school El Telefono?
Do you understand what he just said?
It was some sort of Spanglish,
right?
Well, I got something from Chris.
See, mine goes through.
Well,
I guess I'm special.
I guess you are.
Did you send it messenger?
No, I sent it message.
No, it didn't come through. All I got was the thing from Chris.
Hey,
Well.
here's the problem. Here's the problem. You
Yeah.
know, when we go to the races with Johnny,
Mm-hmm.
I'm helping with the car,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And his phone knows it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got
Mhm.
something from Lauren the other day. I got something from Chris. I got something from Scott Broom.
Well,
I
it was
got-
just showing you the sign that we were at, Jose's. That's all it was.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you
Mhm.
make a short?
I think you did a short too.
I
didn't you?
did. I did a short of my plate of what I got.
She did the Instagram thing and took a picture of her food like a bougie white girl.
So do you guys agree that maybe we need to incorporate Jose's somehow into Team Killer?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, I told Amy, I think they got a 90-year-old Mexican lady chained to the stove back there because that was ridiculous.
Tasted just like my grandmother
Like,
cooking.
they got
no
somebody's
joke,
grandma
no lie.
chained to a stove back there
Mhm.
because that stuff was
was
good.
delicious.
This ain't no Taco Bell or
No.
Mm-mm.
Tex-Mex stuff. This is genuine Mexican.
Yeah,
food.
This is
It's so
authentic.
genuine that they do not bring you chips automatically when you walk in the door.
right.
Mm-mm. Hi, the real Jeff. Chris is definitely special.
That's right. I'm special.
So how did they know me? Why did you say that?
Well, because when I went up to pay, I was like, our buddy,
Hi, Tony.
told us about this, this restaurant. He lives around here. And she was like, oh, yeah, who's that? And I said, Johnny Gillum. She was like, oh, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. There's no signage at all. The door doesn't even say Jose's. You don't know you're at Jose's until you get inside to the whiteboard and it's like this tall.
No, there's a sign outside that says Jose's.
Oh, we
It's
didn't.
not
I
on the
didn't see
doors
one.
beside it.
And where it's
Yeah.
and where it's at,
That sign.
you have to know where Jose's is to get to it because it's not just like the Taco Bell where it's you can see the sign from 2 miles away and it's right there on the corner. Like if you don't know about Jose's, it's kind of sort of difficult to get to if you don't know about it. It's definitely one of those hole in the wall local places, which is
Jose.
even better. It's super nice.
You never thought
It's
it
very
like
good,
that?
but I still want my chips.
You can order chips. I mean, they will sell them to you.
I'm telling you, it is a good place.
You can tell
But
they
we
sell
went-
to a lot of white people though, because I got the verde sauce on my enchiladas and it says spicy by the verde sauce. It's not. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good, but they call it spicy, and I'm pretty sure it's because they sell it to white people, and white people might think that that's spicy, or some white people might, so they have to be careful, kind of like cover your own butt kind of thing, because it's really not spicy. It's good, but it's not hot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you what, you need to get the pepper. Whenever you get, order a pepper with whatever you get. Like if you get the tacos, get the pepper. Get the, get the pepper. They will bring you a grilled pepper out there.
Yeah.
And it's a good day whenever I walk out of there with my eyes watering and my nose running. I mean,
Yep.
Christine, she can vouch. I mean, I'll be miserable over there, and I'm like,
It's so good.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Johnny,
She
that
said, "Is
kind of
that the
stuff
drink?"
right there will mess
Yeah.
up the Farm Fitness
Yeah.
program because you won't be able to see good enough to get your own keys. You'll get the
Right.
keys for something else, and then you'll have to walk down.
It might improve the fitness because later on, the results of that pepper,
Nothing can
you're
stay
going to
in
make a
the
lot of
liquid.
trips.
Did you get the green or the red, Chris?
Green.
They've got the red.
Is the red hotter?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
No, you know that.
you should have got the red. You just
Yeah.
got the regular stuff. Yeah, they've got the red.
Hot stuff. You need the real thing.
Right.
It'll burn your mouth off. You had to clean you out, Lori.
Right. We went to this place in Fort Worth that they had two different like red sauce salsas, and they asked which one you wanted. They're like, well, you got the regular, and then we got hot. I was like, ooh, send me the hot. And they brought some out, and I tried some, and it was really good. Like you start getting a little couple beads of sweat on your forehead. I was like, this is what's up. Can I get like a small fountain cup with a lid? I'll take some home. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, that stuff is amazing. I need a to-go cup of salsa. And they're like, okay.
Oh, there's
So they
salsa.
went back and
Good.
put some in like the little small kids cup and put a lid on it. And I took it home. I took it back to the hotel and ate some later. It was really good.
We went to there was a up in Davenport, Iowa, where we go for the factory tours. One year our hi Christine.
Yeah, make it look like a heart.
It does look like a heart.
There you go. But our students, they got on Google Box, of course, and they said they all want to go to this Mexican restaurant, So we go to this Mexican restaurant. It was a house. It was someone's house. Like you parked in their yard. And I'm gonna tell you, it was the best
I bet the food was
I've
good.
ever ate in my whole life when it comes to Mexican.
Yeah, because that's how I feel about Jose's. I felt like it was started in someone's grandma's house,
Yeah.
They did have grandma chained to the stove back there.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I tasted the
they
rice
might
and beans
have.
first with the queso. Oh, and I said, this tastes just like my grandmother's cooking.
Yep.
Like no joke, no lie, very
And
authentic.
it's hard to find good Mexican places after her cooking and her mom cooking and then her grandma's cooking. When we went down to like Seminole, you go to a Mexican place, it's like, meh.
This
It's
is
like
not no
Mexican.
Taco Bueno or
I mean, it's hard to find good
Taco
Mexican
Bell.
when you have
Well,
to
This is
compare
not
it to
it.
that.
I'm glad I was able to turn you guys on to really cool, great Mexican food still here in Oklahoma.
Right.
And luckily it's local to me.
yeah.
I kind
We
of
actually, when I was growing up, we went to Tahlequah quite a bit because one of my uncles used to live, great uncles, because it's my dad's uncle, but he used to live out there up the road further from like the float trip places where they drop you off and you float down the river and all that good stuff. He lived further up the mountain, so we'd go visit him.
Yeah,
So
Highway 10.
we went to Tahlequah, quite a bit, and then we go to the hospital over there. We go to Hastings for the Choctaw Nation, the hospital over there, because
Yeah.
so we go more than normal for us anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping we can incorporate it somehow into the the get together, because it is such a great place to eat.
Yeah,
It is.
I thought were you guys not there when we went last year, like Thursday?
we didn't go to Jose's last year. We
Oh.
were brand new and didn't know like a super whole lot of people, so we just we didn't want to interject ourselves being the new people kind of thing.
You should have interjected.
Yeah. I mean, we knew you guys because the
We
Okie
will now.
Homestead Expo and Tony
We
and
will
stuff like
now.
that. We knew a few people, but we didn't know everybody like this year.
Yeah.
Just be like me, just marching like a boss and then
Right.
walk out
I'm
like
here.
a champ.
Tex-Mex.
No,
Julie. Tex-Mex. That's Taco
Oh.
Bueno. That's
if it's a
Taco
restaurant
Bell.
This is
that
Tex-Mex.
chips and salsa, no thank you.
Yeah, if they automatically show up with
Of course,
chips and
Bueno
sauce.
doesn't, but yeah.
They do that, Johnny, because they have to give you something or else you'll leave because you'll realize it's not real. They got to give you something to do or else you'll probably figure it out and leave.
Yeah.
But what I couldn't understand when we put in directions for Jose's, it took us to where it turned.
It turned us at the road just in front of it and back and down and came back up the other way. And when we left, I'm like, the main road's right there. Why didn't it just have us drive down and turn right? But now I know where it's at, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After their 6th trip to Bigsby, they made it home.
I could not believe that. I was
man.
like,
Yeah.
are
No
you
Taco
serious?
Bell.
I would have been seriously perturbed that day. If I had been a part of that, I'd have been inconsolable.
Ooh.
Do you know where
Hey,
your
there you go.
Do you know where your dozer is?
I got one of
That might be
them.
it. Look,
That's
it's
in
just
Tahlequah.
I can
Over
tell
a
that
week
I can
ago.
tell that's not mine though.
And we paid a lot more for ours.
Now what? No, that sprocket on the back of it's nothing like mine.
different.
Okay.
Said long track on
I
it.
am
don't
actually
know what
going to
that
say
means.
goodnight. Love y'all. I'm going to go just ignore me if you hear anything. If I sleepwalk, it's not me. If somebody walks by here, it's not me.
She does that.
I do.
Hey, if we hear snoring, we won't
It's not
mind.
me.
That's not me. She said.
No, more than
We
likely.
found out Faith sleepwalks, and she
Don't say it.
eats while she's up sleepwalking. It's hilarious. She got up one time, I don't know, a year ago maybe, and there was some kind of snack and a Dr. Pepper next to her bed, and she's like, "Who was eating crap in my room last night?" And we're like, "You."
Girl, sister, I woke up with a bag of chips in my bed one time and crumbs,
That's fake.
and it was empty. And it wasn't that
That's
empty
fake.
She
before I
gets
went
up
to
in the middle of the night and gets snackages. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh, it's called
And don't
sleep
even
eating,
realize
and
she's
it's a
doing
real
it. She's
thing.
so scared of the dark.
She is violently afraid of the dog. She will make me or Christopher go outside at night to go get her stupid dog. When I'm like, if your dog was worth a crap, you'd be safest ever when you had the dog. So
Now,
if
who
your
is
dog
that?
wasn't
Who's scared
useless,
of the dark?
Faith.
Oh.
And she got up one night sleepwalking and walked all the way to Meemaw's house. And Meemaw's like, "What are you doing?" And she just diddy bops through the kitchen, does whatever
Gets
she's doing,
a
gets
cup of tea.
something, and comes
got
back
tea.
down here. And then she had no idea. We told her about it the next morning. She's like, "You let me go out there in the dark?" I'm
You
like,
let
"You
me
were
out.
asleep. What am I supposed to do about it?" I was asleep. I learned about it too. She's not afraid of the dark when she's asleep.
Okay.
Well, I have a couple of stories to tell on my boys. One night in the middle of the night, I was almost to fall asleep, and I don't go to sleep much before midnight. And it was hot summertime, and we had our windows open, and a lot of the time we would only have screen door shut on the back of the house. And I heard that screen door slam, and I'm like, "What? Ain't nobody coming in my house like that, you know?"
Yep.
I go to the kitchen, which is plumb the other end of the house, and I flip on the porch light, and there is my son standing at the foot of the step petting the dog. And I open the door and I said, "What are you doing?" He just looks at me, and I said, "Get back in here and go to bed." Walks up the steps, goes back to bed. I mean, he was like out quick as his head hit the pillow. He didn't remember anything about it the next morning. And I'm like, that ain't good. We got to watch him closer, you know. You don't tell him what could have got him when he was outside. But whenever we were living in the house that my grandparents built, it only had 2 bedrooms. It had been a 3-bedroom house. Anybody lived in a house like this? It had been a 3-bedroom house, but when they moved the toilet inside, they had to use one of the bedrooms for that room. Okay, that's how it was. So, my 2 boys were sharing a room, and there was just barely room for 2 twin beds and a walkway in the middle of them. And Scott my oldest son it was probably a Nintendo or something. Well, that little thing had a red light on it, and that red light had bothered him when he was trying to go to sleep. So he had turned it around to where it was toward the window. And Dakota was probably between 2 and 3 years old. He come into my bedroom just screaming, "There's a red-eyed monster in my room, red-eyed monster in my room." He just wouldn't shut up about it. And I'm like, "Go back, go to sleep." He wouldn't go to sleep. And finally, after about the 4th or 5th trip, I said, "Show me this red-eyed monster." We went in there, and he said, "It's there in the window." And window plus storm window made it look like 2 red dots, the reflection off of that red light on that Nintendo. And I jerked the cord on it, and I said, "Dad killed your red-eyed monster. Now go to sleep." I was just sure. There ain't no way there's a red-eyed monster in there, and dadgum if there wasn't.
And come over here and say hi.
Yep, we had sleepwalking kids. Our oldest, she sleepwalks. Our youngest, actually, all three of them slept walk. And now, what's really funny is our granddaughters do. Our daughter's the oldest, and now our Hey, there's Grumpy plus 21.
One.
Hey, I think I've changed my guess on the weight. It's 10 pounds, 1 ounce.
Oh.
She said, "Oh no, Faith." Yeah, your grandma. Yep. Everybody's saying hi, Grumpy. Yeah.
That'd be a big
She's
old
like,
baby.
I'm so tired of being pregnant already.
You're just getting started.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Got a
We
ways.
just didn't look
Just look like you went and ate a whole bunch of Jose's right at this moment.
Right.
That would be bad, Teresa.
Why am I
Man.
not seeing Dale's or Johnny's live notification? Because I'm not co-streaming.
I'm not co-streaming.
Yeah, they're not co-streaming.
It's just me and them. Damn. Sorry. Damn.
Yeah, I never have co-streamed a live.
I have. I'm just. I would have to Yeah, never mind. It's a long story, and I'm not going to get into it. I can co-stream, but it's going to be on Nana 9 Acres. It won't be on 9 Acre Family Farm. So.
Yeah, so that when he goes off for a minute, that's why you see Nana's
Yep.
the picture.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
She way
Now,
prettier to look at than me.
I agree.
100%. Glad you're here anyway, Dale.
No one argues.
No argument.
Oh, I'm so used to it.
Poor Dale. Darn it.
Aw. Do you need a hug?
Scott.
Do you need a hug, Dale?
No.
Yeah. We'll all give you a hug
I'm
when we
good.
see it. 10 color.
Well, hugs might not be the thing, guys. If you ever heard of a pity party, we could just give a Dale a big old pity party.
Oh my goodness. We
Okay,
could.
here we go. On the count of 3, everybody go off. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Gee, thanks, guys.
Oh,
Been a long time since I had to give somebody a pity party, Dale. Lori knows what that is. Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I can hardly wait to see you guys at 10 Killer. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah. I didn't have a cough till we had this day with 60 and 70 mile per hour winds, and it got silly smoky around here and dusty. Oh man, I've had the cough ever since.
Yeah, we had all of West Texas blow through here last Friday, and then we had everything around here looks like it's been all the vehicles. I mean, you can't even see all the windshields in them. You have to wash them off before you can even drive. And then yesterday I went over to check on the cows, and I was driving down the road, and whenever I left there, and I go, I smell a little smoke. I got looking, man, the whole mountain was on fire over there. And it's luckily, not lucky for the people north of me or anything, but it was blowing southwest, toward the northeast, and so it was kind of going away from where our place is.
Yeah, Lisa and I drove down to the south, and we were sitting in the parking lot of this place, and her and I was visiting and about something before we got out, and the whole truck was just, that wind was blowing so hard it just shake you around in the truck like you were going down a rough gravel road or something,
Yeah, we went to follow the fire department truck. I drove all the way around that section. I mean, because it was in a section where the fire was, and I drove all the way around that section, and met a fire department truck. Followed him into a spot, one of those brush trucks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the precursors to the actual fire trucks and stuff getting there.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think? I mean, how do you think this started? And he said, I don't know. He said, maybe somebody's doing a controlled burn. I said, in 40, 50 mile an hour wind? He said, well, he said, we get them doing it all the time. He said, they don't think, but we went to the spot where we thought it might have started, but the guy that lived there, I know he didn't start it because he couldn't even hardly walk outside. I know he didn't start no fire out there. So I was hoping, man, I was going, man, I hope it don't get his house because he lives real close to that. And if that wind switches, his house is right in the middle of the woods.
Oh, man.
I mean, the woods come right up to it. So anyway.
Well,
my dad and I found it funny. Our neighbor to the north of me this week, he set a half section on fire, and the next day, you know what he was doing? He was setting corner posts because he burned all the corner posts out of his own pasture.
Yep.
We said, serves you right, buddy, for setting a fire in that,
Dale and I was talking about how we got a farmer fire protection plan. His dad's kind of got what I've got. It would come right up to my place. It might burn out in the road ditch, but it would stop because there ain't nothing to burn on mine.
That's 80. You guys
pasture.
I'm kind of like Johnny. I'm giving away a little bit, but you'll see on video coming up. There ain't no way that the fire would do anything to Dad's place because he's about turned that 80 into a dry lot. With all the cows calving right there and everything. There ain't an ounce of grass out there. But
yeah, there's the only thing that is on our, we got woods on ours, and they would burn through the woods. But and people were asking me. I mean, I put out that short, and people were asking me about the cows and stuff like that. If the fire got over there, I said no, they'd be fine because the grass is so short out there in the field that it would never make it out there to them, and they would be fine as long as they're not like can't get up and laying down in the woods for whatever reason. I mean, that'd be it. But
yeah,
we do have some cedar. Cedar's its own deal, and
they're that's like lighting a Roman candle, man. A cedar, I mean, there ain't nothing I like more than watch cedar burn up when you burn off prairies. They'll create their own wind, their own, but
like napalm.
Yeah.
Y'all hear about Kevin Stitt's farm getting destroyed? That's our governor here in Oklahoma.
Yep.
So
no, I didn't hear
about that.
Wow.
Yeah, he was on Channel 6 yesterday morning, I think, or something. Talking about his ranch house, obviously not the governor's mansion, but his house, the ranch house that he owns when he's not governor. That one burnt, slapped to the ground.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Because this is his last term, so you're gonna have to get that fixed up because that's where he's going back.
I think the best thing I ever saw him do, and I wasn't even paying attention to like politics at the time, but he had a big, massive barbecue underneath a PETA sign on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious. I died laughing. I was like, I like that guy. He's got jokes.
We're vegans. We can't have your barbecue smoke in our yard. Well, would you like to try some? No, you're murderers.
We heard that. But he did. He found like this gigantic PETA billboard on the side of the highway, and he set up a massive barbecue underneath it. I'm like,
at least he has a sense of humor.
Dude, savage and hilarious.
Let me tell you, I know that guy's relation lives out kind of out in my country. In fact, he used to be one of my customers years ago. And if he's even remotely like his relation, he did that way intentional.
Oh, I know he did. He did it intentionally. I know it was a big thing. It's like everybody jumped on too. It was like, we like this guy.
Because that guy was about three or four glasses off from being level, not just the line, but the whole glass.
Happy Meals don't work anyway, so just say he was a few French fries short of a Happy Meal.
He was the whole box shy of a Happy Meal.
She sent me a meme one time where it was a picture of a bunch of 4 or 6 foot levels, and somebody had wrote wrong on every one of them and thrown them in the corner. And she's like, "Look, that's wrong on so many levels." I'm like, what the crap? Where do you find this crap?
Good one. Have you seen the little short where the guy goes and is in the auto parts store arguing with the guy behind the counter that he needs to buy a longer dipstick because it won't reach the oil anymore?
Oh gosh!
Can we just put some more dipstick on this one? Because it won't reach the oil anymore. And the guy's, no, I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think that's how that works.
My cousin overhauled a 350 Chevy motor in an old pickup that he had when I was a kid. I remember him doing this. And it took quite a little while for him to get it all back together and get it in there. When he got it in there, he lost his dipstick, couldn't find it. And so he went down to the auto parts store at Seneca, and they sold him one. And he thought he'd overfilled his engine because that dipstick read way over full. And this went on a while, and he's like, I know I've lost some oil because I see a drip, or I see a spot under the truck once in a while, but it still says it's way over full. And he burned his new overhauled engine up because the dipstick was actually hitting the bottom of the pan and bending.
Yeah.
It still said it was over full when he ran out of oil. And I'm like, boy, I know how that is. You get to do it over again.
We've got a handful of these little engines. I'm telling story on us now, but we got a handful of these little diesel engines, and they don't have a dipstick in them. We just kind of have a common dipstick, and we use them like for a fuels lab where they time the fuel injection pump and nozzles, and they only fire up for just a few minutes and then they shut back down. And we assigned these students we said, hey, make sure that you check the oil before you fire these up. So they go over there, they pull the dipstick out of one, they stick it in the other, they pull it back out, and it has just a drop on the bottom. And we don't fill these plumb full because they only run for a few moments. And so they fire this thing up, and I mean, within 1 minute, it just comes to a screeching halt, a complete stop. And this thing is locked up. And we're like, what is going on? So we make them pull the pan off of it. There wasn't a drop of oil in this engine. Not a drop. The pan was completely clean. They pulled it out of an engine, and it had a drop of oil. They didn't wipe it off. They just stuck it in theirs, pulled it back out, and still had a drop of oil on it. They never even actually checked oil.
Oh, wow.
Needless to say, they didn't make it past that.
Oh, man. Yeah, I hate engine problem. Things like that could be avoided.
It really stinks when your engine begins bleeding all of its blood out on the ground.
That's bad. Kind of like a dozer in this video that I watched at this auction. I'm thinking, man, that's a pretty decent looking dozer. Until somebody showed me an inspection window on the side of the block.
That's where you can inspect the rod.
That was hilarious. That looks suspiciously like the side of a rod.
Yeah,
I love that auctioneer story was that they had it overhauled by a guy right down the road, and it didn't run like an hour, and that happened. And then the famous line before he starts crying the auction: "Bad mechanic down the road, 2,500. Let's go."
You know, that thing had a lot of good parts on it, though. It really did.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it was
that
a-
engine in it was an international engine, and I'm sure you could have got one out of a tractor, you know, somewhere and replaced it. Because I'm sure it was some sort of tractor engine. Is you know, it looked
Well,
like to
I'm
me.
sure it's
It looked
probably
like there's probably some tractors out there that have that. Paul
Yeah.
Case probably has one of those engines laying around.
if it was a 6-cylinder, it's probably a 466.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was a
say
6.
that was about the
It was
air.
International 6 is what
If
it
it
was.
was in like a 175 track loader or something like that, it would have been. If it wasn't a 466, it would have been compatible.
Yeah, or 440.
And it,
What was
you
that
know,
old 444?
it went cheap
414
enough, you
and
know, to where a person could actually get that thing and fix it if they,
Oh yeah,
you know, and it would have been a workhorse. It really
it'd have
would.
been a cheap dozer if you would have want to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah.
430, 436 was the other one they had.
There you go. Yeah, 436.
436 and 466.
They had. I don't know if Paul has seen the video or anything like that yet, but they had some Farmalls. They had a Farmall M they sold, and another Farmall. There was what was it, a 460?
Yes,
460
yeah,
Farmall.
460. That was a buy for that 460.
And then they had some big case tractors, cab type, like you use for doing your hay.
Yeah.
They sold a few of those, and they had a lot of John Deeres. But I was really interested, especially that last case tractor, the one that went right before the burn up John Deere.
Yeah,
I looked at that thing and I go, you know, that might be a pretty decent tractor. And it was big enough. I don't know how much horsepower it had, but it looked like it had plenty to do anything that I would ever do with it.
High Red Dirt Rooster Road. Yeah, that was probably a
Nancy and
120
Michelle.
horse tractor, I would say. But
Yeah. But I mean, they
it
had,
kind of looked like all the rest of those Maxims that we see up here.
yeah.
Like the way that those all look, like their decals are coming off, and they're just kind of look like they are. You know what I mean? Like their fenders are faded and stuff like that. I don't know what it is. You know, I'm not 100% green. There's good ones in all of them, but man, I just don't know if them Maxims are them. You know.
I think they've messed up when they went to putting a plastic hood on anything.
Yeah.
It wouldn't last long around my farm, and we'd have it beat up.
Yeah. Actually, whenever I was looking for a tractor, that was one of the things that I just couldn't get beyond. I didn't want plastic fenders and a plastic hood. I just didn't want it.
Yeah,
and I had so many people trying to talk me into that because they said it'll never rust, and if you break it off, you just get another one and slap it on there, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm like, but I don't want to break it off.
But if it was a metal one, broke your plastic one wouldn't even bruise this metal one.
I know. I was like, I just couldn't. I couldn't deal with it. I just didn't want to mess with it.
I've wound up with one that has plastic fenders, and it was a 1992 model, maybe.
Really?
I didn't realize it was plastic when I bought it, but it has a metal hood.
Yeah.
And I thought it might be all right because it had no grill when I got it. So there you go.
That's my mom. My mom has a 85 or 8940 M8940 Kubota, and when she got that thing, you know, the hood on it and the front grill, it all looked perfect. It was a used tractor with the loader. The other day I go over there and the grill's all bashed in. I said, "What happened to your grill, Mom?" "Oh, the brother-in-law was pushing brush." I said, "Yeah, that doesn't look too good."
Well, I need to tie something in here. Johnny said there was an M Farmall tractor, and Amy said that she couldn't understand an auctioneer, And so I'm just going to drop this like it's hot. I know a guy that has a couple of tractors and a bale wrapper right now on Purple Wave auctions. Yeah, I do. I know him really close. So I know none of y'all are interested in that, but maybe somebody will be.
Purple Wave auction. I never looked at Purple Wave.
Really? I frequent Purple Wave, but I don't buy very much. I think I've bought 2 things on Purple Wave in 3 years, probably.
We used to sell a lot of stuff on Purple Wave, that stuff that like had sat there at the dealership for like 4 or 5 years and you couldn't give it away, or that was going to take way too much to repair. That's what went on Purple Wave, usually.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't advertise the Farmall Super M that I'm selling, but I had an ad out on both the other things I've got on there, and nobody even interested enough to inquire about them.
The bell wrapper.
Yeah,
there'll be a home for a bell wrapper, but it's just not
about like new. I think we only wrapped about 300 bales with it, and all it's done since then is set in the barn. We hooked a monitor up to a battery and everything.
Yeah, you don't really need one because you keep your hay inside.
Well, what we were doing was trying to make some baleage.
Yeah. There was something that I don't think I filmed it the other day, but they had a grinder, a bale grinder up there at that auction.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, that was cool. You get that bale grinder and get one of those bins, and grind that stuff down in there. And I thought, man, that actually would be pretty cool.
Was it so what one was it, Johnny? Was it like a
hay buster?
Was it a hay buster, or was it an old Heston? Or I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember, Dale. I don't remember what it was.
Well, I can tell you if you can remember one little detail. Did the bale spin like this or like this?
Bingo.
I didn't even look in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just know that they had a bale grinder. It's one of those things. I'll tell you exactly. I have not been around bale grinders very much at all. None, basically. I mean, there's one guy that every time I drive past his place over there going to check on the cows, they're out there grinding bales every day. It doesn't matter if I go by there at 8 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they're out there grinding. And
really?
Yeah, they grind so much hay. It's crazy.
Well, see, they've kind of done away with, around here, they no longer use a bale grinder. They just use a vertical mix tub, and they just drop the bale in and put either DDG or silage or something in with it. And then those 2 big augers that stand vertically chop it all up and they feed it that way. They've kind of got away from just grinding it, and stockpiling it.
So, but whenever I was walking around the auction, I didn't really pay any attention to it. But then I heard them whenever they said, "Oh, we got us a grinder here," the auctioneer. And I wasn't videoing at the time. I thought, "Oh, that's what that was."
Yeah. Well, there was a grinder mixer in that one that I noticed, a Gale, and I don't think I was curious what it was going to bring because that's a good piece of equipment to own.
And I may have it in my saved footage because I whenever I go to those things, I video almost all of it, and a lot of it just doesn't make the cut.
I cut my auction video that I put out. I cut so much of that thing out because, you can only listen to them sell so many hammers and wrenches before you're like, "Hi, Spanky,"
Right, exactly.
Used to be an old boy up
Good
here
night,
that
Mama.
ran an auction company, and if things was going good, he'd bust up a wrench set. And I was like, "Oh, are you serious? Seriously?" He'd sell.
We're going to sell it a wrench at a time. Or are you kidding me right now? The
I
ones that
buy
I
about
love,
a 5-gallon bucket at the auction.
the ones I love to go to is you'll go there and they'll be like those, like that
Love
Amish
you.
one that you just put out, Johnny, with all the tractors and loaders. There's one auction company that I've been to some of theirs, and they would have sold every loader, then sold the tractor, then sold it combined, and whatever way brought the most, that's who actually owns it. They would do that to every one of those down through there. You know, they could take something that should only take 30 minutes to an hour to get through and make it last 4 and 5 hours.
You know that post driver that sold in at that auction.
That would have been a good piece.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't a day after that. I was looking at Facebook Marketplace, and that post driver, whoever bought it, had it on Facebook Marketplace for sale for $1,000. The exact same one, right? Yeah, what'd they get for it? 400.
400.
Yeah, they were trying to make 600 profit on it.
Well,
said they hadn't used it in a couple of years, and they, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I just saw that yesterday, buddy.
Yep. Well, they bring about 2,500 brand new, so even no matter what, I mean, it would have been a.
Haven't used it in about 4 years is code for it needs all new hoses.
True.
Yeah. Well, I looked at it. I mean, it did need hoses and stuff, but I was like, I almost took a gamble on it but the only thing I didn't like is, you know, that thing runs on a, you know, it's got to run on, it's got a track.
Yeah.
It's got a track along. Well, the top part of that track had a little bend in it. And I was going, I wonder if they have a problem with that getting hung.
You don't want that one then.
And so I just kind of sat out there and watched them bid on that. I didn't, you know, I looked at everything. The only thing that I was kind of interested in bidding on was that there was a black stock trailer, a 16-foot stock trailer. It had absolutely no lights at all in it. You know, they had already took the wiring and everything out of it, because the Amish, they don't use that stuff. They just hook it to their tractor and go and don't worry about lights and stuff. And I thought, if this thing went cheap enough, and cheap enough to me would have been, if it went for $1,200, I would take a gamble on it and wire it and stuff like that. And it didn't go cheap enough. I think it went for, I can't remember, it's like 3,800 or 4,000 or something.
I was surprised what it brought. I was thinking, hey, I got one out here that's got lights and a floor and all kinds of stuff in it. If you want to pay that, I'll go ahead. I'll go find me another little one that I'm only going to use once in a great while.
Well, I got to tell you, I've been down there to that JL's barbecue one time with some friends of ours. And when we went in there was some people went in about the same time we did. And so they were coming out about the same time we did. And it was a man and a woman and 3 teenage kids and 2 grade schoolers, obviously, or something like that. And we seen this funny looking little Massey Ferguson tractor with a heater cab and an umbrella. And they went to piling in that thing. It looked like the opposite of the clown car, you know, where they just keep getting out and more of them getting out and getting out. Well, they was all getting in there. And when we turned around and looked, when we got in our car north, the sky was just pitch black. We didn't even get to Adair, and it was pouring. And I'm like, well, the good part is there was so many of them in there, the ones on the bottom couldn't get wet.
Yeah, they sold a lot of those. They sold a lot of those.
Bye, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Yeah. So, yeah, Paul, you could have hung around for just a second, but anyway, they sold a lot of those little tractors rigged up like that, where they
I've
had
seen that.
all the windbreak, they had all the stuff to. What they do is they put all those tarps and stuff around the engine and stuff like that to kind of make the heat come back around where they're sitting. They put those little plexiglass windshields in. I don't know how many people tell me that I was not at an Amish. The Amish would never use a tractor, ever. They would not do it. They would use.
They don't understand that there's different
sex.
In different areas, there's different classes of Amish. They're all Amish.
Yeah, I remember in that area when they were all horse and buggy and horse and everything. But they right there on 412, it's 412 highway, and it's a divided 4-lane. It's one of the major highways that goes through Oklahoma, and they had so many problems with trying to get the horses back and forth because their farms on both sides of that highway. Horses get scared. They had accidents. So they switched to tractors because tractor will just go across, They don't have to. So they did it for safety reasons and stuff like that over there. And I'm like, besides that, they could also farm really farm. I mean, major farm. Whenever you get into your big tractors and big equipment like they had, I couldn't believe they sold some of those huge those discs that lay out $300.
That was cheap as dirt.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. And Dakota, I saw your question earlier about what brand was that post driver. I do not know.
You'll just
It'll be whatever's on the video.
He'll have to watch the video if he wants to know what brand.
I have no idea. It's in the video.
It's in the video.
Diesel is probably cheaper than oats anyway. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, they use tractors, and I don't know.
They buy a lot of land out there too. Like when they're having land auctions and whatnot, if the Amish show up, you might as well just go home because they got deep pockets.
They do. They really do have deep pockets.
They got deep pockets.
Yeah, and I don't know
if they want that land, they will pay whatever they have to make sure they get it. Because if they really want it, if it's connected to something they already got or connected to, because I didn't know for a while, I didn't know that they will give, when they get married, they still do like the dowry and stuff for the husband and wife and the families of each and all that good stuff. But a lot of times they'll like the dowry will be like this much land when you marry whoever, and they go around buying land like crazy.
Yeah.
They buy a lot of property.
I know.
Well,
I
and
know
then they have things like, you need to think about that they don't have to pay all that stuff that all of everybody else does, and there's a big stink going on in the big county seat town in our county because a bunch of Amish moved in and they carpenter. Well, they want to come into town and do all this roofing and stuff like that, but part of the rule is in town they have to have liability insurance and they have to have workman's comp insurance.
Yeah.
And they're in court battle fighting right now because they said that's against their religion to have liability insurance or workman's comp insurance. So, they're in a business, but they don't have to pay the same thing that another business does.
Yeah, they didn't have what I would call super serious tractors out there at that one Dakota that I was at, but they had some equipment that would do some big stuff. I mean, that
7010 or 7200 or whatever it was, that bigger John Deere, that would be, that thing would have been more than big enough to pull the big disc and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was sitting there looking. Everything I looked at, I was going, I'd have to pull it with my dozer. I'd have to pull that with my dozer.
Yeah.
Well, we just scrapped a chisel for dad's that it takes a 200 horsepower tractor to pull it. One bigger than that 7, and we scrapped a field cultivator that was like 25 foot, wide and stuff like that. But we've got Tiny, that 875 versatile, so everything's 30 plus foot or bigger, now. But and we were using old little stuff to a lot of the big farmers around us. You know what I mean?
There was one John Deere, that the guy that's actually on the I guess the thumbnail for that video, the Amish fella on there. His name is Merlin, by the way. He actually, there was a John Deere tractor that he wanted. It was a cabbed one, and it had a loader on it.
Yep.
And I knew that as soon as he set his sights on that one, he was going to end up with it, because, and he did. He got it for, what did he get it for? 22,000.
Yeah. And it was a good buy.
Yeah, it was a good tractor.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that his boy that's always right there with
Angie.
him?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's his boy or if he's just community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they all, I don't like, they're different kind of people. I mean, I really like them a lot. They are very business minded, just like Dakota said earlier and stuff like that. But they take care of community. They take care of.
Yes,
that's the reason why if they want some land, they will end up with it because they're a community, and the community will come together on that kind of stuff.
And you put that many people together, there's not much they can't afford. If they want it, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is, Dakota, I see what Dakota's saying there, but the problem is everybody else that has to do business in that town has to have all that stuff. So they always come in as low bid. Well, the way that a lot of those government is set up is it's low bid. Well, they can't operate because they don't follow the rules. You know what I mean? So that's what the big fight's over,
Yeah.
Howdy, Angie.
Angie!
Everybody better say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Angie! Hey, gathered together homestead.
Hi. Do what?
Glenn and Jess.
Channel we were watching.
Angie, the best people have birthdays in March.
Faith would agree with that.
Yeah. Faith would.
Well, Anita's is this week too, isn't it?
Do what?
Anita Cases is this week too.
I think so.
Happy birthday, Anita. If you're staying there by Paul and he's still watching.
Yeah. Yeah, Gathered Together Homestead. They're a channel from just north of us here. They're right across the Missouri line.
Oh, it says Tony says no paper.
Hey, Gathered Together.
His is in April.
They're really close to hitting their monetization. So
nice.
You might check them out, guys.
I'll have to check them out. Yellum Farms here, by the way, Gathered Together Homestead.
Yellum Farms. Oh,
Paul says hers is the 26th.
Oh, okay. So hers is a couple of days after mine.
So hers is actually next week then. Okay.
Yeah.
But welcome in, Gathered Together.
You're going to be just a little bit older too, huh?
Yeah. This is the year of the big 6-0.
Hey, John, we were watching a video the other day of an auction video for this other channel, and we saw you in his video a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he talking about me?
No.
Okay, I was wondering. I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
Faithful Farm Adventures.
Yes.
Farm Adventures.
Yeah, he's the fella who came up to me and basically told me I was in his area.
Didn't know there was such a thing.
Right.
Hi, Wanda.
Hi, Wanda.
Together Homestead. Has it got a rooster on a?
Yep.
Okay, got it. New friend.
They a little backstory. Gathered together, and Lisa and I and Glenn and Jess gathered together, and Pathways Homestead, Gary and Cindy, we hosted kind of like an homesteading expo 1-day deal back a few years back in Fort Scott, Kansas, all together. So we were all pretty close to one another here. But then Pathways moved away and actually gathered together, kind of moved away from YouTube for a little while, and now they're back going again.
Yeah, the Amish are good folks. I agree, Dakota. I mean, I've not had any. I think they'll stand by just anything, you know. And I would love to have the Amish. I mean, I would love them to come out here and build everything that I want. Let's just put it that way.
Because it'll be there forever.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. It'd be good stuff. Yeah, you'll not hear me say a negative word about them at all.
I'm not saying any. I don't know. Sometimes I think Dakota takes what I say as negative. I'm not saying nothing negative. I'm just stating the facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that big farm where that auction was that I was at. Big, huge house, 2-story, huge shops, all that stuff. You could probably see it in the drone footage at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff was off grid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There was no electric there or anything. And I was looking at the power lines running up and down the road and stuff like that, but they don't, they don't come in there. And they have put solar up. So they're running solar. They used to, they just had candles and stuff like that, but now they're running solar. So they are changing with the time.
They can't be hooked into the rest of the world.
But they don't want to be tied down to anything. So
yeah.
Well, they can't have a line coming into their house.
Nope. But they can use a cell phone.
It's
I've
not
seen them
connected.
doing it.
Yep.
Because there's not a line. There's not a line. They can use cellular data, So
some can, some can't.
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen them on a cell phone before. And so, and there's different, if you see the beard, when they have a beard, they're married, the men.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger,
well, some of the women that have beards are married too. Just saying.
and the younger men, they, if they don't have a beard, they're not married yet. It's kind of a pretty neat setup because, you can always tell as far as the men go who's married and who's not.
Yeah, they don't have rings because
Yeah.
they don't believe in precious metals. Most of them. Most of the groups don't, because that'd be coveting something,
Yep. They don't have back pockets on their pants.
Nope.
Their pants are homemade. Well, their clothing is homemade, but their pants have no back pockets on them. That's one of the things that, it's kind of different. So. Yeah, no mustaches.
Mustaches, Dale.
No mustaches.
Hi, Linda. Oh, y'all should sing happy birthday to Angie.
We did. Where were you?
I ain't singing much. I'm just trying to keep from coughing. So
Angie says no, Wanda.
Y'all should sing happy birthday. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Everybody ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Angie.
Happy
Happy
birthday to you. And many
Why
more.
no back pockets?
There you
That's
go.
just how they do.
They don't have back pockets. Yeah.
There's probably a reason for it. We just don't know it, but who cares?
Well,
I mean, it's
Google.
neat. There you go.
It's because they make them themselves. I mean,
yeah, they make them themselves.
More
if you
efficient to not put pockets on the back.
it's easier to make it that way.
Good night, Avid.
Night, Evan.
Be
Have a
safe
good
at
night
work.
They says they don't use buttons.
What?
Every one of them I ever seen used a button. They don't use zippers.
No, they not.
They don't want to be pickpocketed.
I started. Why do Amish not have? And then it said not use buttons.
All their shirts look like they had buttons the other day.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so I don't know. So on the side screen on you don't do StreamYard anymore. So they have like this side panel scene things on the side that makes it look, I don't know. I don't like that on the side because I accidentally hit
I
stuff.
don't either.
Craig Wood. Hi, Craig.
Hi, Craig.
Craig.
Right. Almost wear buttons.
Heading into shower or stretching raccoon. Well, good night, the real Jeff.
He was stretching real raccoons.
Mm-hmm. Amish wear buttons.
Yep. All of them I ever seen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some groups adhere to different rules than others.
True story.
Right.
Yeah, they don't wear belts. They wear suspenders.
I can't stop
watching the news on YouTube.
That raccoon person is serious for sure. That was the real Jeff. The Muddy Acres. His name is actually Jeff. Hi, Emily.
Yep.
Hi, Emmy.
Here.
Oh, she was dancing in the background. You missed it, Angie. She was going back and forth behind Johnny.
Doing the Egyptian and
yeah,
whatnot.
she was doing dances and all.
She was voguing there for a little while.
Yeah. Johnny was laughing. She said, darn it.
Yeah, she was right here. She was doing the Egyptian going back and forth behind me for 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Lisa and I were singing Bangles as she was doing that. Walk back in Egyptian.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Amish over this way too, Craig. Big Amish community over that way.
So we have, like I was said the other day, we have like all different classes around us. So we have the Amish that are horse and buggy. Then we have the next level of more modern Amish. They ride a horse and buggy to church on Sunday, but they use a tractor all the rest of the time. Then we have the ones that can have tractors and have vehicles, but can't have internet come to their house or telephone line or electricity. Then we got Well, they're
Good
more
night, Lacey.
considered Mennonite up here, so they can have everything, you know. Night, Tina and Eric.
Good
Night,
night,
guys.
Lacey. Good night, Tina and Eric.
Yeah, yeah, over here they're still not hooked to anything like. I remember whenever they decided that they needed a phone for an emergency, long time ago. So they got with Shoto Telephone Company over there, and they put in a community Amish phone. It was a
Yep.
pay phone,
Yep.
and they put it up at this one place that was centrally located, and the Amish would go there, and if they had to make a call, they would make it on that phone, and they'd put their money in and make the call, and they would, if they needed to take a phone call from someone, like if someone was going to call them, then what they would do is they would go there and they would be at that phone
Yep.
whenever the call was supposed to come in. So it was actually very, it was not considered like if it was not good etiquette if you told one that you were going to call them at a certain time, because they would do everything within their power to make sure that they're there, whether it's raining, snowing, whatever it's doing, they would be at that phone waiting on your call. So
Yep.
you needed to make sure that you called them when you said you were going to call them.
Yeah, I told the story the other day about that when I was a parts guy and a salesman, I would deal with them, and they would say, okay, they would call in for parts or come in and see, and like I'd say, well, you want me to call you when it comes in? Call it exactly 2:30.
Yeah.
You made sure you wasn't 5 minutes early and you wasn't 5 minutes late, or else you were going to get an earful about that.
Right.
It had to be exactly at that time.
Yeah, and the reason being is because there was a community phone,
Yep.
and somebody else might be taking a call at 2:35.
Yep.
And you were supposed to call at 2:30, or there might be a few people standing there waiting for that phone to ring for them. So yeah, and they didn't dally on the phone. I
No.
mean, they got it taken care of just that quick, and
then it got where then the one community it got where I always dealt with, I'll just put out a name like Phoenix. Phoenix was his name, and I would always deal with him. So I'd call up at the time he told me, and I'd be like, hey, I have John's, I have Sam's, I have all these parts in, and Phoenix would then go around and report to everybody that all the stuff was in, and then they'd come in and get the stuff,
Yeah. Good folk.
Oh yeah. And like I said before, you always done good business. We always done good business together, and you never wanted to ever not have a business deal go right, because if you got on the wrong side with one of them, you were on the wrong side with the whole plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember the old party lines. I remember a lot of those. I don't know if you drank raw dairy, but you can check out Yoder Dairy over there. I need to check out Yoder Dairy. I'd pay $20 a year to buy from.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I made a Facebook post. I didn't make a community post, but because it was local, we went and picked up a half of a hog that we had butchered, and at that local locker, they have a buy. They buy beef from local people or hogs from local people. They butcher it and then they sell, because they're a Fed inspected and a state inspected locker. And we were picking up our hog, and Lisa looks in the meat case, and they had KC strips, and she's like, I want those KC strips. So we bought a package of KC strips, and I made them tonight. Holy cow. Like you're not buying from a local locker. Like go to buy local beef or
Yep.
or hog or whatever from somebody. Holy moly, them steaks!
Yeah. Don't go to Walmart and buy your meat, folks.
No, them things I made them in a cast iron.
Do all you can to not to.
Yeah.
My friend.
I made them 2 steaks in a cast iron skillet, and I'm telling you, you could about cut them completely with a fork. They were amazing.
I can't believe you didn't make them in the air fryer.
No, I don't do that.
I can hardly wait. There's going to be a video. I guarantee it. There's going to be a video come out here before long. It's going to be Dale making steak in an air fryer.
Nah, I have made a pork chop in there, and there might be one coming out of, remember the shake and bake stuff, for pork chops, where you put the breadcrumbs on them and cook them in the oven? They make that for the air fryer, and I think we're going to try that in the air fryer.
Nice.
Air fryers are poisonous.
Good night, Tamara.
Of course they would be. What is it poisonous?
What is it?
Right.
It's like people that say that grain finished beef is poisonous. I can tell you, if you have 600 acres of grass out there with steers running on it and you put a pile of corn in the middle of it, there ain't going to be no more corn. Every one of them calves will go to that corn pile.
I shake and bake them, says Linda.
Yum.
It's the coating, says Off Grid World. Yeah, we've got one of those. Our skillet's coated in the same thing that the air fryer's got. I love cooking with that skillet, and Christine just hates it. She always pulls out this cast iron stuff and starts cooking in the cast iron and everything. But whenever I'm here by myself and I'm just cooking me something, yeah, I'm going to reach right under that cabinet right there and grab that old skillet and just throw it out there and put whatever I want in it. Because you know what? I can throw it in the dishwasher when I get done. I can't do that with a cast iron. So,
yeah.
I'm lazy like that, guys.
You feeling better, Johnny?
I am feeling so much better this weekend. I was down for the count. I don't know what I got. It was, we had a lot that we were going to do this weekend. A lot. I was actually, that Jeep that I bought at auction, I was going to do a video of getting it freed up, try to get it busted off and stuff like that. I was going to do that Saturday. That was my plan, to work on that all day. And then Sunday, we were going to go to church and go to the auction and stuff like that. And Christine was really excited about it because it was one of our local auctions. It was the Leach Poultry and Consignment Auction, and she saw where I went to it the last time, and she saw a bunch of things because they put all that stuff on Facebook. She saw things that she would like to have and stuff like that. So anyway, well, I got so sick Saturday. I didn't get out of bed Saturday. And then Saturday night, we were supposed to do Chilling with the Gillums. And I had Christine type it out because I didn't even feel like typing it out on the Gillum Farms channel. So she typed out that we weren't going to be on. So, and then on Sunday, I was hoping I would feel better, but I didn't. And we missed church. We watched church on the TV. And then that evening, when it was time to go to the auction, I couldn't do it. I never even went outside. 2 days, I never went outside. And then yesterday, I guess I just blew it plumb out of the water because I did a bunch of stuff yesterday. And today I feel better. I mean, but yesterday, I came in yesterday from over at the farm, and I told her, I said, I may have overdid it today. I don't know, but I feel better now. So I had a fever, a stomach ache, and I was very nauseous. And have I checked the P.O. box? I have not, Jennifer. And that's strange because I was at the store earlier today and the P.O. box is right there. And for some reason, I don't like going over there unless the lady that works there is there, because I know if there's something that won't fit in the box, I'm not going to be able to get it, because there's going to be a yellow piece of paper in the box that says you've got something here for you. And she's only there like an hour and 15 minutes a day. And I've just got to get
there. Johnny, we got a little box like you're saying at our P.O. box. But if it's too big for our box, there'll be a key in there with the number for one of the big boxes.
Yeah.
At our post office.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, we don't have that. I figure our post office probably won't be long for this world anyway, because I'm sure it won't be long before Doge or Dogie or whatever gets around to that, and our little post office will probably just go away, and we'll have to go to town then. And I'm just saying, I don't guess it'll be any different though. I mean, because I go through town all the time. So
yeah, I can't believe there's people that like they get mail delivered on Sunday and everything. Like, we've never had that here.
They do that here.
Really?
Yeah. Sundays and holidays aren't off limits for getting mail. I'm telling you, used to be if it was Sunday or a holiday, you just go, well, we don't need to
that didn't happen around here.
Yeah, well, it happens now. So
I'll never forget the first time a UPS or a FedEx driver showed up on a Sunday. I'm like, what are you doing? It's a Sunday. Like, why are you delivering? Oh, we deliver 7 days a week. I wanted to say, well, you don't deliver to my house on a Sunday.
I'm gonna video our post office one of these days so you guys will understand. Two people can't go in it at the same time.
I need to also.
So I go up there, and if I look if I see somebody in there, I just stand outside, because it's awkward. If you get in there, it's really awkward. So it's kind of like going into the bathroom whenever it's a one-holer and there's somebody else sitting there.
Yep.
It's like you're not just going to turn around and whistle and go.
Yeah,
you
turn around and walk out. Don't feel bad, Emmy. Things like that happen by accident all the time. And as long as it was said in there that was an accident, I can't figure out how to get you back, they'll understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I agree. I missed that whole thing. What happened?
Somebody in Peter's live, somebody accidentally booted somebody else in chat, and it was an accident. And
hey, I tell you what, whenever you're working with these cell phones and stuff like that, and you're a mod, man, I tell you, I don't know how many times I've just been listening to somebody's live and look down, and it'll be on something, wanting to know if I want to do something to somebody's post, or something. I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't, pick my phone up weird and hit a button.
Lisa, one time, she wasn't really modding. She was just sitting there listening to somebody's live, and she accidentally dropped her phone. And when she went to grab it, it, timed somebody out, when she grabbed hold of her phone. And
yeah.
Oh, her name.
If you see her, let her know. I don't know that I've seen Hope Smith.
Yeah, I don't know a Hope Smith. She's not in mine. I haven't seen a Hope Smith in mine. That's why I was confused. I didn't know she was talking about it was in Peter's live. I was like, wait, I hadn't seen a Hope Smith. So,
but
I did boot somebody from the basement because it was a name I hadn't seen. They were just in the screen,
like sitting there in shadows with like a light kind of halfway streaming
long
across
hair, and I was like, nope.
looked like.
Yeah, you don't ever want to let somebody up you don't know.
Yeah,
It
no.
kind of looked like
Never.
my brother, which is just not a good thing to let on here either. So it's like,
That did not look like your brother. That did not look like your brother.
I was looking, I was like, man, that looks like Ryder. Well, I'm definitely not
No.
letting him up here. It looks like Ryder.
No, it was not Bowen. Bowen usually comes up with like old country
Bo Cephas
Bo
and
Cephas
Johnny
and-
Cash and
yeah, and
Merle Haggard.
so
Like,
I know when it's this was a person, but they were off in
yeah,
the shadows,
they
and
had
then
the
they would
camera
come up
on and everything,
really
but
close.
it was
But
just
yeah, I was
creepy.
like, nope. So
Seen her in Commons. Yeah, I haven't seen them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
anyway, so OpenCon, they have temp people that fill in on those days. What on the? You're talking about the post office filling in on Sundays and holidays and stuff like that. I wouldn't doubt that. I guess they've got so much mail they got to get out, and a lot of people. And here's the thing: Amazon's got to deal with the post office now, to where the post office delivers Amazon stuff. And as long as it's not big Amazon stuff, if it's small type Amazon packaging and stuff like that. So, and that stuff's got to come any day of the week. I mean, Amazon stuff just comes whenever. So they are bringing stuff out. And I guess since they're coming out anyway, and they've got your mail in the truck, they just put your mail in there too. It's really weird. So
I've been seeing a bunch of boxes at Quick Trips for like the Amazon delivery location. It's like order on Amazon and pick up here, and then on the corner it says, "Hi, my name is some weird stupid name," and you tell it to deliver your Amazon to the Quick Trip at 91st in Delaware. And it's like, what? Like, why would I want? You know what? Never mind. I don't know. I can't fathom a reason for me to request my Amazon to be delivered to a random Quick Trip. But I guess I'm just weird that way. Like, I'm sure there's a reason, or else they wouldn't do it. And it's not like just a few; it's a lot of the Quick Trips now have these big locker-looking things bolted to the side of the building, saying, "Hi, my name is whatever." And you order it on Amazon and have it delivered. It's like the little pickup lockers at like the Home Depot. You can order online, and if it's small enough, they can put it in a locker, and they send you a QR code to your phone, and you just scan it, and the door pops open. You don't even have to go inside the Home Depot. But
so if somebody else has stuff in there, it's just in there too. So when
no, it's like a bunch of several little lockers.
Oh, okay.
And you pick which one. It tell you. I guess Amazon sends you a message telling you which locker it is and how to open it.
Oh, cool.
So, but I just don't know why they're at Quick Trips. Like, send it to your house.
I mean,
I guess if you lived in the country and like our roads suck, I bet our Amazon would like it. We use a Quick Trip because they don't like coming out here.
Yeah, we don't have a Quick Trip, so
right.
Closest Quick Trip to us is, I guess, Shoto.
Sure.
A QR code is a little block-looking thing that's all broke up with weird shapes in it, Tony. And if you'll pull out your cell phone like you're going to take a picture, it'll pop up a link, and you click on that link. Like when you go on our live, there'll be a QR code up in the corner.
Well, Sarah, I got a little conversation for that. You say that they send Amazon packages to Quick Trips because they're safe places. Well, with what's riding on my hip, so is my house.
Bingo.
Like, my house is a safe place.
How's a Quick Trip a safe place? Do they have a police department or something?
No, they're set up as they have the little silver or yellow triangle at the safe place. All the Quick Trip people have training where if you're like
a battered woman or
a abused kid or something, you can go in there, and if the bad guy or whatever comes in there, they actually can legally hide you and call the cops, and that's why they're
where are they going to hide you?
back of the store.
They're
or
a designated safe place. They can take you in the back where the people can't get to you and all that
So
stuff.
they're not like Lowe's where you can just walk in and grab a DeWalt skill saw and walk out the door with everybody just watching you.
No, they
and
have like
walk
a
all the way
dedicated
all the way to
safe
the other
place
end of the building
inside.
and walk in the other door and go to the or the return counter and get cash back for it.
You got to be
Literally.
We were at
Well, hey,
we,
you're on
we
to
were at a
something,
Lowe's one
Johnny.
time, and we were walking right by. We were behind the registers, like when you're waiting to get in line for one of the registers. And this guy parked his car in the little canopy underneath the area out front by the lumber doors. And he walked in there and grabbed a whole like 10-pack of DeWalt tools and walks out the lumber door. And the guy at the door was like, "Sir, sir, sir." And he never slowed down. He just kept walking, got in his car, and took off.
And you know what? Our son-in-law actually works at Lowe's, and their training. Yeah, I see. You got a bird there.
They're not allowed to.
They're not allowed to stop anybody. They're not allowed to stop anyone who is shoplifting. Yep. Now, folks out there in the chat, I know you're all good folks and everything. Don't take advantage of that, okay? Because they are not allowed to stop anyone.
Yep.
So if you just go in there and grab some power tools and you walk out the door with them, if the police don't catch you, because they will call the police.
Yeah.
But if the police miss you, like they would like 90% of the time in Tahlequah, or 99, if the police miss you, then you'll see those tools on Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes they bring them back. Literally, Joel has had them bring the tools back, and they've exchanged them for cash.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
They're about what?
I have no idea.
Let me see.
They're about half a chicken nugget worth of meat on their entire body, so they're not ready. That's what they are.
I think they're about two.
That's how old they aren't.
2 to 3 weeks, something like that.
What are they?
They're barnyard mix.
It's one she incubated from
our
Your dog is having a brain aneurysm over there.
I know. I got your baby. Her
Frenchie dog thinks it's a mama chicken, and every time she gets one of these stupid birds out, that dog sits over there and has a dang heart attack.
I got your baby. I know that.
Put the thing back in the thing so your dog will calm down.
Poop in her hand.
Right?
I'm putting it back.
Good night.
Lord.
Doggy breakfast. Yeah.
Good Lord. Sit down. I ain't got no more. Yeah, Willow did the same thing. That's what I was thinking when I was sitting over there. She looks at me. Now she's
Now she's fine.
Yeah, she's fine now.
It's when you get that chicken out and she's just buzzed.
What are you doing? Put my baby back. I don't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. Golly.
Goofy dog.
She said, "My bad, Amy." I won't ask again. Yeah, that's just how she is. And then, one of the 4 eggs that I had in the incubator, one of them just hatched today.
And we got some turkey eggs.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be making some turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, turkeys!
I got turkey eggs. Yep.
Nice.
Got 2 so far. There may be another one.
Are they what are they colored like? The turkey
They're the like the wild turkey that you see in the woods, the brown with the
bronze.
And you do have one of the
I have 2
Narragansett.
Narragansett.
I like the brown ones better, but whatever.
We went into TFC to get a bag of dog food, and it was quiet in there. There was like no night, Red Dirt Rooster Road. And then you barely heard a cheep. The only thing left in there was ducks. See, no one wants ducks. They said
I
everything
don't
else
want
sold out
ducks.
within the hour, and they've had the ducks all week long. No one wants ducks.
Yeah, I don't want no duck.
I've had duck. It's not bad or nothing, but it's just when they're alive, they're the biggest pain in the butt compared to chickens.
Dirty,
They're
nasty.
nasty.
Yes, Monty and Michelle.
Yeah, ducks are. Yeah, they're nasty critters.
Good night, Wanda.
Christine
Mullen
said
even
something about getting ducks, and I
chimed in
said,
on that.
nah, that ain't happening. I
Yeah,
said, if we get ducks, they're going to have to live in the pond.
that's right.
Right.
they're just,
Yeah.
they're just
But
going to have to make it on their own down
you got to
there.
go out there and deal with the water all the time. That's horrible. Like if you had a pond and they could be like wild ducks, great.
Yeah.
But not like the chickens in the chicken coop. That would never work for us.
No.
No.
Yeah, ducks are horrible. I can hardly wait to get pigs again, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you,
We put our stuff together to where we can start making our own pigs every year.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
We kept one from
Ginger
and Joey,
mm-hmm.
and we butchered the male,
George.
and then we got Diesel from Tony. So now they're not related, and we can actually have a breeding pair and have piglets.
Well, that'll be good because we might be in the market for some
His
of those.
sister.
Some of those. I'm hoping we can get. If Tony's in the chat out there, I'm hoping we can get some from Tony this year.
Tony's still in there.
Yeah. Some, I never know when somebody's going to drop out. That's the reason why I said that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm hoping we can get some. But I saw somebody talking about the Okie Homesteading Expo that's this weekend, and we have gone for the past 2 years, but we're not going to be able to make it this year because we're actually going to have family and stuff over and our church group is all coming out here for a cookout for my birthday. Cool. And so we're not going to be able to make it this time. It just the scheduling. We couldn't put it off another week because we've got something going on next weekend.
Right.
And we just said, well, this is when we're going to do it. So we're going to have to miss it this year. Hope it's a good one, guys. They've always been fun for me. I like them.
I've never been to one, but the $50 person kind of keeps me from going to it.
It's a little different. It's different than the Ozark one. We all went to the Ozark one, together and stuff like that time. It's indoors mostly. And it's pretty cool. So it doesn't matter how hot it is outside or anything like that. It doesn't matter if it's raining.
And that's the problem with the Ozark is it's in September. It could be 100 degrees or it could be pouring rain. And majority of it is outside or barn to barn to barn, stuff like that,
Tony says he'll be there. He's got a free ticket. Awesome.
Cool.
We received 2 free tickets as well, so we'll see you there, Tony.
Nice. Well, guys, since you're going to be that close to JL's barbecue, just saying, if you're going to be that close, it'd be like it'd almost be like driving past Jose's and waving. Since you're going to be that close, you might ought to just kind of slide in there. Because I went in there, that Saturday that we all went, there was a lot of people there.
Yes, there was.
Well, I went like a couple of Saturdays ago, just by myself. I'd been to an auction, and I pulled in there, and I'm like, man, I'm this close to JL's. I might as well pull in JL's and eat. And I did. I went in, and there was, I don't know, there might have been 8 or 9 cars in the parking lot. It's about the same time that we all went that one day. And I thought, wow. But it was really good.
Since we went with you guys last year at the Okie Expo thing, we went to JL's after. We were just going to make that a thing when go this year too. Just swing by afterward and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So pretty much anytime I'm in that neck of the woods, I'm gonna stop at the barbecue place.
Yeah.
Kind of like going to Saddle Saw and not stopping at Wild Horse Barbecue. Like, you don't drive past that.
You know, I like those ribs that they've got down there at Wild Horse. I really like those. They're really meaty. They've got a lot of meat on them. And so I'm hoping Dale gets to experience some Wild Horse stuff one of these days.
Yeah.
Because it's really good too. And
I like their barbecue sandwiches.
maybe there'll be something he just can't miss, and we can get him down this way.
Oh,
He's never even been over here. I've been to his house. He's never been here.
I've never been to your house either.
Well, you can come out.
Gotta leave, get some sleep. Good night, Linda.
Good night, Linda.
See, last year was our first time at Okie Homestead Expo, and we saw a few classes, but we mostly hung out with you guys, and we saw the booths and stuff like that. But it was exciting.
Shopping.
Yeah. And so this year we want to do it different, where we see more of the
little seminars.
Yeah, the little seminars and stuff, learning different stuff.
And some of them, anyway, we know the people now that are going to be doing the seminars. Where last year we didn't know them.
Yeah.
And now we actually do know them.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good place to, that's where I met Dakota and Shayla. I met them there.
That's when I met them.
I had no idea they had a YouTube channel
before, but I hadn't met you.
Yeah, I knew Dakota and Shayla. Well, Shayla mostly.
Well, we were just walking around, and Shayla starts waving at you. I'm like, I think that lady knows you. And I didn't know any of them.
Has anybody heard from Goats?
Jimmy, have you ever been to like a, say, an outdoor show or something like that has a whole bunch of a trade show of some kind? So there'll be a whole bunch of vendors selling stuff. Plus, at this, they'll have classes that they teach you how to can or how to butcher chickens or how to garden or how to make your own milk, cheese or candles or how to tend bees. And so it's a learning along with a bunch of vendors being there.
Right.
Is there still water in there? Okay.
Yeah, they're really cool. And I met Tony there, and I remember well Jerry Butler walking up to me, and he just starts talking to me, and he's asking me all these questions, and I'm just trying to answer him as good as I could. And, I wasn't trying to get into the politics of anything at all with him. And then finally, after we were talking about 20 minutes, and finally I kind of glanced down a little bit, and he's got this stick, and he's got his phone hooked on this stick. And finally I go, Jerry, are we live right now? Yep. We're live the whole time I'm anywhere. And I'm like, good to know, Jerry.
Just so you all know, if you ever meet Jerry,
you're on live. 9 months ago is the last time they put anything.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I wish I had that number. Yeah. We still have, it's been 9 months since that one couple from Goats and Hoes that they posted anything on their
oh
YouTube.
No, yeah. I remember meeting them at the expo. I hope the 9 months since they posted anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last video was a weekly update, but it was 9 months ago.
Yeah. Haven't heard anything from them.
Life happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a change of season in your life.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes you have, Yeah, you have all kinds of things happen, and
illnesses and stuff like that.
maybe you'll see. Maybe you'll see him at the expo. Maybe just maybe.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
That'd be good to hear from
I was
him.
hoping that they were going to come to Teen Killer last year because we did a big invite for them to come to Teen Killer last year, but they didn't make it over there for I think it conflicted with something.
But you said Brandon said he was coming, right?
Oh yeah, he brought it up in
had
my
a great
video.
time last year because he seemed excited about coming this year. I think he had a blast last year.
I think he's Rango.
I saw him at.
You saw him at an auction, right?
I saw him at the auction. That wasn't staged. That was just me talking, and I was trying to leave him alone. I was like trying to hey, this is Brandon. Hey, say hi, Brandon. Etc. And then I was just going to walk off and let them do their thing, because I knew they had their own thing going on and everything like that. And then he stopped it in the middle of the. He goes, yeah, but isn't there something coming up in a couple of months where we're going to meet at the Tinker, and everything? And so he brought that whole thing on. And he's really excited about coming to Teen Killer. Him and the Grounds family.
And then Walker Farm Fam said that they were going to look at their calendar and hopefully will come.
Nice.
So I'm like, that'd be awesome because they all hang out. And then what is the lady that hangs out with Walker Farm Fam? What is her name? She has a channel too.
I got nothing.
My goodness. Anyways, there's a big group of them that said that they were going to check their calendars, and if Brandon's going, that they were going to try and make it as well. So
that's cool. And I'm hoping last year that guy Ken and Janice from down southeastern Oklahoma came with the channel called Flyover News. So I need to reach out to them and see if they're thinking about coming this year. I haven't heard a whole lot from. They used to come in our live, but they, I don't think they're live folks. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's, if you're out there, Ken and Janice, I'm not being negative to you, but there's just some people that I can tell you, there's a lot of people that only watch lives, and then there's people who watch videos.
I agree.
Some people that watch lives and videos.
Yeah.
So Ken and Janice are more video people.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. There's some people that they do nothing but go from live to live to live. They just watch lives. Hi, Don.
Hey, Don.
Our flipping farmstead.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Don, y'all going to come to? Oh, wait a minute. I think did you guys say you had something going on the same weekend as Teen Killer?
I can't remember if Don said they were coming or not. I can't remember.
You're invited.
Don and Big D and the whole family.
Yep.
I can't remember.
But anyway, well, guys, it's 10:37. I got some things I kind of like to do before I go to bed. I'm gonna hop off. But man, it's been great being on here. I think I missed the last one or so because I thought you guys were going to go, I was like, oh, them guys, they'll be on for 3 hours and I'll be able to hop on.
Towards the end.
It was the presidential talk. Yeah.
You went early last week, didn't you?
Not last week. It was a couple back that she went short.
Because I looked and it's like it streamed 4 minutes ago. So I left you a comment on your, on the after deal.
Yeah.
Saying, dang it, missed it.
Yeah, everybody got shorted that live. It was like an hour and 34 minutes
like
or something like that.
Instead of it was basically half of what it normally is.
Yeah. And Johnny was like, I was gonna get on.
That's right. Don is scout camp director, and they have camp that week. So
I
understand. Well, you could take them to 10 Killer You know,
Rig them up a bunch of fishing poles.
Yep.
Hey, don't
pitched
can't
tents
usually
there.
have kayaks and canoes and whatnot. Well, we got a lake.
Yeah, we got a lake. Yeah, we get gypped sometimes, says Jennifer.
I have 500 Cub
Holy
Scouts.
moly, I don't know about that. Now I'm
Never
sure.
mind.
Wow.
Scratch that.
Yeah, never mind.
Good night, Sarah.
Forget what we
That's a
said.
lot. Holy
Wow.
crap.
They are from kindergarten to 6th grade.
Yep.
Yeah, scratch that.
Wow.
You can have
Nix that. All right, guys. I'm gonna jump off here. We'll talk to y'all later. All right.
All right,
Thank
then.
y'all for coming
Bye-bye.
up.
You bet.
Good night. Well, y'all, that was a fun live. Thank y'all for coming in. And if you're watching replay, thank you so much. But we're gonna get off of here. They can come as long as they bring $2.
And they got a Buffalo National River, so they
Yeah.
got a river. Hey, rivers are sometimes they're
Wow.
more fun than lakes.
They paid $30 each to come. Wow. Got to stay the whole. Yeah, you got to stay the whole
She
time.
had
That's
to take
nice.
it with her when she went
Yeah.
home, but yeah.
Well, thank you for supporting our channel, Sarah. You love your brother so much. You stayed on the whole time.
That's adorable.
Look at that face. Did you miss it?
If you can't see it, I'm blushing. But you can't see it, so there.
And I cannot wait to see Brother Troy Sutton at Mid-America.
Yes.
I'm so happy.
Yep.
So, y'all, I will see y'all in the morning for In the Kitchen with Amy and Lauren at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time.
You said that
And
already by
so,
saying
yeah.
9 a.m. or 9
Well, it's
o'clock.
okay.
Because
Whatever.
if it was 9 p.m.,
Whatever.
it wouldn't be 9 o'clock. It would be 2100.
Yeah. So
that's why you do the military time, so it's less.
Oh, Chris's sister.
confused.
Yes, it's Chris's sister. Sarah's Chris's. Oh, don't make me sick. Yeah, Sarah is Chris's sister. And so, yeah, look forward to seeing you all in the morning. We are making baguettes.
According to all the people I've talked to so far, we're bringing another, probably 25, 30 people again this year.
Yeah, something like that. So all of us Leonards will more than likely be there.
We're going to need a bus. And we're not
So.
even going to need a mini bus. We're going to need a full out 77 passenger full size bus.
Yep.
Just saying.
What time?
900.
9 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Facebook. It's In the Kitchen. Facebook. Oh my gosh. YouTube here on YouTube.
You had one job.
I know I had one job. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. 9 a.m. Central Standard Time here on YouTube In the Kitchen with Amy and Lauren. The thing has already been set up, so you can go in there in the description. It'll tell you what we're making, all the ingredients. No, we're not doing Facebook. I said Facebook, and I was like, I don't do Facebook for In the Kitchen with Amy and Lauren. But yeah, we're making baguettes.
Maybe you ought to co-stream it to Facebook and YouTube.
Well,
you might get a whole other group of people that are bored at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I'll discuss that with Lauren and stuff. So
it could possibly be a thing.
Yeah. So in the description of that live that I set up, it will give you the description of what we're making, all the ingredients, and how to make all the baguettes. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, you're making baguettes.
Yep, we're making baguettes tomorrow morning. So, love you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, some of y'all. Bye. You gonna say bye?